Hey everyone, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day, good Thursday. I hope everyone is doing well. Hey Joe, how are you? Hey Rouster and Amby, thank you all so much. I know I was a little late with putting my notification up. I apologize about that. It was one of those days where it was like I was getting ready a little bit, and then all of a sudden at the last minute, I realized I didn't have my notification up. So yeah, and we don't have a guest this week at all. And that's just mainly because I didn't schedule a guest. But yeah, I am happy to be here. I am also really exhausted, y'all, both like physically and emotionally. So if you don't know, in the United States there was an election, and all elections are exhausting. This one was no different. And I will just say, I hope for people who, uh, whether or not your candidate won or did not win, and I don't just mean like the big elections, like national or your local elections. Um, Hopefully, if you think things will be better off for you because your person won, then I hope things happen are better off for you. And if your candidate didn't win, I hope things are not as bad off as you may think they'll be. I know personally for me, as a uh, in the military, we were always kind of taught to be neutral, apolitical, just because our main goal was to the people of the United States, and very rarely did presidents matter. And I think even for today, most of the time, I take responsibility for my own successes and failures, and so I don't necessarily think a political party matters. However, I do care quite deeply about the communities around me, the communities I'm a part of. And anytime I find that they're under threat, just like my Shades of Purple community, y'all know I will be the first to say something. So that is my little thing. For like, I don't know. I haven't had a show during an election. So, but I try to put that there and so forth. But hey, Wit, how are you doing? But yeah, I don't really want to talk too much about politics because that is not. We talk about business and gaming, and yeah, I don't really get too much in that. So hey, Severin, Severin, what are you doing here? Aren't you? Don't you got twins? Aren't you doing stuff with the twins? Um, so, and why is the question mark? So yeah, but I would say at least I got a few. I got a new footrest. Really? You mind telling us what type so we could look it up? Hey Bruce, what's going on? Wave wave. And I will make a confession, y'all, about my gaming. I really have not been gaming too much. I've been really tired. So I think I told you I traveled back. I was in Colorado from basically like 4 a.m. last Friday to like, I don't know, I caught a really late flight. Well, I came in right at to be able to make the show on Sunday. Then we had all this emotional election stuff, and still like have a lot of adrenaline built up from that. And so right as I'm like kind of coming off that, I have to go to LA on Monday. And that's a lot. And I'm only there for like 30 hours. So it's like 6 hours, 6 hours back. And I'm no longer young. And it's a little tiring. It's a PS5 Pro best PS5 Pro best footrest around. Oh, is that well, 7? That's an expensive one. I'd be if they were awake. This week has been super exciting because of the time change. Yeah, Rouster, that was another one. But this is a different time change. Like I feel like the super what do we call it? When we go back, I don't know what that one's called. Does it have an official name when we go back an hour? I don't know. But when we fall back, I feel like that one's easier versus when you because you get an extra hour. As where when you spring forward, I feel like you lose that hour. So I don't know. But at the same time, it gets darker earlier. So I could understand why that makes you a little tired. I could see. Hey Crow, what's going on? Hey, extra life, y'all. I just saw right before I went live that Mel, Extra Life Reviews here, as y'all know, earlier, Shades of Purple alum, just posted his review of Fantasio. Oh, what is it called? It's the one that's like some people are saying is game of the year. So I'm really excited, Mel, to see that. I've not seen it yet, your review, but I am looking forward to it. So, but y'all, if you go check out his channel, he just posted the new one, and y'all know he is my favorite game reviewer, favorite on all of YouTube. Y'all, I hear that. I had to drive 4 hours for work, and I was like, nope, not doing this. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, Joe. Do you remember? Because Joe, you were in the military as well. Like we could do that like so easily. Like I could go drive somewhere, be somewhere like super early, come up, like jump out of a plane, still continue my day, like come back the next morning, go for a run. Like I'm like now, I'm like, whoa, this is like a body blow. Like I feel tired. And when you mix it in with like election season, it is it is tiring. It is really tiring. Metaphor Rafazio. Yes, there we go. Military area. Hey, Severin. Yeah, Severin is one too. Yeah, but we've well, that adds like, yeah, it does. It does. I don't know. And tomorrow is Veterans Day. So I am super excited about that. Well, and I shouldn't say I'm super excited. I think that's the wrong way to describe it. Well, I guess not tomorrow's not Veterans Day. Monday is Veterans Day. And but it's like Veterans Day weekend is coming up. And I don't know. I think I have a really interesting point of view on Veterans Day nowadays. Like obviously we honor our service members, but I really think in my thought process has evolved on this over time. But I really feel like if we really want to honor veterans, and honor their sacrifices, we should probably try to do everything we can to not go to war. Because I think war is obviously like the last. That's like war is the absence of reasoning, as I like to say. And I don't want to make this like an anti-war stream, but I think um, this should really be like the last option. And I don't know if we think of it like that in this country. I don't know. That's just me. Were you out canvassing or something similar? Who, me, roster? No, not in Colorado. I wouldn't canvass in Colorado. Um, I know a lot of people who were canvassing. But no, I was working this last weekend. There was like a summit with work, and I know I was on the weekend too. And, like, I was the only one supporting, well, it's my partnership, and, it just took a lot out of me, and then, like I said, I came back, we as a collective, uh, beat, Until Dawn, and like I said, it was like election, 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 and, yeah, and then now I'm just really tired. Uh I'm 30, I feel fine. Tell my twin side I am there climbing practicing. Yeah, I would 30 is 30 was a long time ago. 30 was man, 30 was like a long time ago. Uh I'll just say it like that. I was still in the military at 30. And y'all know that was like over 10 years ago, so that was a while ago. War should always be the last resort. Lives matter, and the biggest loss in war is always exactly, Simpleton. I totally agree with you. And so I think that's where I come from. And so like when I hear about Veterans Day and I said like people are saying I support the troops or salute the troops or anything like I definitely appreciate it. But I don't think we honor people's memory like appropriately. Like I think if all wars have showed us anything is that very rarely is there really a true winner. If you actually think about the outcomes of war, and obviously when you see people truly being persecuted, and the wars I'm kind of thinking about right now are like World War II is like the one that really sticks out. Um, then obviously, or a civil war or something like that. But, in general, I think we kinda use war, like, really, like, I don't know, and I don't think we appreciate service members appropriately. Yeah. No, I don't wanna get too political. Indeed, picked up a new cloud gaming handheld that is pretty sweet, the Abalux Cloud. Really? Let me check this one out. So I did wanna talk about cloud gaming. Actually, I wanted to talk because I was talking on, Cowboys Channel earlier today, and, or not earlier today, earlier this week. And, FCAT, he sometimes comes around. FCAT, he's like Cowboys kind of co-host over there, and he asked me about cloud gaming. And he's like, "Hey, are you like," I forget what it was the question. It was like about xCloud, I think. And I was like, I don't really do cloud gaming. Ever since Stadia shut down, I just don't do it. And don't get me wrong, I would probably jump back into it with Stadia, but I just don't do it anymore. And one of the biggest reasons why is because it's a subscription. It's always subscription now. And this week, maybe it was Sunday, it was Saturday or Sunday. It had to be Monday now that I think about it. On Monday, like I went through my like credit card statement, the one that I use for like subscriptions, and I had so many subscriptions, not just like gaming, just like subscriptions. And so I went through this practice, and I totally, y'all should take this if if you have a lot of subscriptions. Like I call customer support for each one of my subscriptions, and I always ask them like, "Hey, do you have like a alternate or do you have like a promotional pricing or something like that to try to get the price down?" And they give it to me. And so, like, I was able to cut, like, I think my monthly subscription bill, this isn't phone bill, by the way. This is just like Netflix, Sirius XM, Bloomberg News, New York Times, uh, Economist. There's like 7 or 8 of them, and all of them combined were like $240 a month. Yeah, a month. And I was able to get it down to like $45 a month. So, like, it wasn't quite $200, but it was like $190 I shaved off of my monthly bill, which may not seem like a lot. That may seem like a lot to a lot of people or not a lot to a lot of people, but that literally is over $2,000 a year. And so yeah, I just wanted to pass that along. If y'all have subscription issues, there's such a run hangers bounce off my then dance it. Oh, stop it, Simpleton. Turn out absolute, I think. Oh, like absolute vodka. That makes sense. 180 million Prime members in the United States have access to cloud gaming. They don't even know. True, Joe. And if you have a I think that's probably the coolest thing about Amazon Prime is if you have with Ubisoft, by the way, if you have the Ubisoft, like if you buy the game, you can play it on Amazon Prime. If you have a Prime membership, you can play it on Amazon Prime, like as a like Stadia, basically. Which I think is like super cool that Ubisoft does that. You know what? I should probably test that out because I have Prince of Persia. Well, I have Prince of Persia and X-Defiant, but I don't. X-Defiant is probably a dumb one to test it out on. I should test it out on Prince of Persia though, and see like if it's a cross save situation or what. That's a good thing, Joe. The GFN user is very interesting. They're adding 100 hours a month limit for non-founders. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean, Rouster? Like you had it, like you can. Is that for all tiers? That's horrible. Now with the COD game, it's a pretty good deal. Yeah, Joe, I agree. I just think when it comes to okay, so I'm not gonna be one of those people who are gonna down Luna. Like I'm just not. I have a Luna controller. I've not actually seen that controller in a while, but I have a Luna controller. And for me, I just thought Stadia just had like the what is it called? The where we could do the group chat stuff. I just thought Stadia just did that so much better. And also, like, where I could just send you a link, you could jump in my game. I just thought, and then how I could transition screens. Like, I could be on my computer, and then I could just all of a sudden go to my TV. I just thought Stadia did it better. And so, like, when I go on Luna, it's not a bad experience. Even though it did crash twice on me on stream, but I'm not gonna give that. I'll toss that up to my PC. Um, I just find that when I have, like I have the PlayStation, the Xbox, the PC, like, I already have stuff to game on it, so it's like, why would I do it? But that's just me. For both tiers, yes, if you go over 100 hours, you can pay 290 or 590. What? That's no good. You're saying 100 hours a month? That's not a Now, don't get me wrong, that's averaging, like, 25 hours um, 25 hours a week. So that's a lot of hours. But still, I could just see myself, like, when I first jumped into X Defiant, oh, man, I don't know, I for sure got over 100 hours in the first month. Same with Diablo when I first jumped into Diablo. Like, when I first jump into a game, it definitely goes over 100. And if I'm already paying the subscription for the game, that's what gets me with GFN. It's like like, with No Rest for the Wicked. So, I decided to play No Rest for the Wicked on my PC. Y'all know I don't know what it is. I just don't like to, like, download the game to my PC. And so I was like, "All right, no biggie. I'll play it on GFN." And then I just realized, like, well, that makes the game like $20 more or $22 more. And so it ends up like just going up, up, and up and up. So yeah. So I don't know. It works out like 3 hours a day is eat. Well, 3 hours a day is a lot. So I told you. So I've not been gaming at all recently. I just been tired. I did until dawn, but I am just like worn out. And I asked this question on stream this last week. Like when you're feeling like close to burnout, do you just continue to push through? And Crow was someone who's like, "Hey, I love the grind of Diablo." So Crow keeps going, right? And then a lot of people just said they keep going. And for me, like right now, if I were to play, like just push through, I think I would just like, I don't know. Let me say it like this. What's causing me the exhaustion isn't gaming, so that might be a difference. But when I'm like this, I have to be very much like, I have to kinda clear it out, like, I have to think through things and clear it out my system, and I don't think I can do that in game. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know. They say only 6% of the survivors go over that. I would imagine, yeah. Like I said, 100 hours is a lot. 100 hours a month means you're over 1,000 hours a year, and the closest I think I average with Stadia or Xbox, I think I average somewhere in the range of like 5 to 5 to 700 hours a year. So that would mean like on average 50 hours a month. But you have these periods like right now where I'm not gaming really at all. Like I'll game like I'll go do my like little run and I'll do my like spa day and stuff for Sunday, because like, Sunday, like, it's like a social thing, and I think that's what I liked about Stadia. It was, like, it felt more social, but just hopping in right now and I have several games. I have Cyberpunk, Diablo, I need to beat the secret boss in Prince of Persia, and there's one other game I was gonna start, but it's like, I just can't get into it. I don't know why. It's how I relax after work. Really, Crow? Wow. But you went to PC. Crow's not doing cloud anymore. Hey, Holt, I see you there. I changed my 1 gig internet from $100 to half, but don't buy speeds. Yeah. Did you call in? Like literally every subscription except YouTube TV gives me a better price. And Amazon Prime. I've not been able to get because I can't get someone on the phone with Amazon Prime. But let me try a little bit harder and I might be able to do it. I wish I could play 3 hours a day. Rouster, I'm with you on that one. I can only dream 100 hours a month. I definitely need more than I love to sleep. So yeah, I generally pivot and do something new, different, get outside, rebook. Yeah, exactly, Joe. I'm the same way. I have to like that's why I tell people like gaming competes against TV shows, movies, reading, music, because I'm not one of those people who can like listen, like on Twitch streams, you see people like listening to like trance and they're like playing a game. I can't do that. Like, like I'm gonna give the attention to the game or to the music. Now I can listen to music and read a book. Those 2 can be interchanged, but I think that's about it. Like after that, it's like one or the other. And, so gaming right now, I am finishing up the Blizzard book about the history of Blizzard. Super interesting, by the way. And then, next week, I actually have to go to LA. Um, Actually, no. One of the things I do in my job is I get to, just like I interview on Shades of Purple, I actually get to interview other people, like authors or actors and actresses, and, the person I'm interviewing next week is a author, and so I have to read his book, like, in the next, like, 4 days. They just asked me today to do it for next week, and so I have to read, like, a book in 4 days. So I'm ready for questions and, I can facilitate. Now, granted, the reason they selected me is because it's a book about like generals in the military, and so there's like stuff they selected me for because of that. But yeah, it's so maybe that's it. Maybe it's reading right now. They will okay. Back in the day, I could do Final Fantasy in a week with 60 hours. Jesus, 60 hours in a week. That's a lot. That's a lot. They'll let 15 hours a month roll over. It isn't much, and I doubt they would let 30. But Rouster, do you play 100? I think it would work for you though, Rouster. Now, the person I don't think it's going to work for is 2 people that I can think of who use GFN. I don't think it works for Rudigs because Rudigs games a lot, and Inioke I think has Boosteroid, but Inioke streams like every day. Plus, she games when she's off stream, so I don't think it would work for any Oak either. But after that, the other people I know who use it, like I think Ray and all of them, they would be just fine. Could it be just that there's too many games releasing these days and it's hard to keep? It could be, Mel. It could be, but I'm very picky. And they have to release it all in one go. Like I'm very picky. So, um, like I'm really like when it comes to the games I pick, it's like the books I pick. You know what I mean? Like, unless I'm reading a book for work or I'm reading it for like a review. So sometimes I have to review books. Uh, and that's kind of a different process. Unless I'm doing something like that, like I'm super, super particular about the books I read. And I feel like gaming's the same thing. So that's why when some people are like, hey, try this game, and I don't like it within the first like 2 hours, I'm done. So that's why Starfield was, like, done. The reason I wanted to do push through with Hellblade 2 is because I thought the story would get better, or I thought there would be more to it, but again, it was only, like, 6 hours and 38 minutes. So that wasn't too bad, but what game was I playing recently, and I was just like, "Nah, I can't get." Oh, we did it on stream. The stoning of the whatever the Frank Stone game was, that's a great example of a game where I was just like, it's I've given this like 4.5 hours. I still don't know what's going on. So I don't know. That's me. The Jason Schreier book. I am reading the Jason Schreier book for fun, Crow. But no, I don't. Jason Schreier did not give me the book to review. I'm not interviewing Jason Schreier. Get the book on tape. Sometimes, yeah, but when you get it early, like when they just release it or they're asking you before you can they're asking you to do a review of it. And so what happens, I don't know if y'all want to know this, but I'll tell you anyway. Like a lot of times what happens, like a book releases and you'll see the back page and they have all these people who will be like, yeah, this was a good book, blah, 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 blah. Well, there's a whole nother group of people who actually like read the book to figure out what it is. And or some of us will read the book uh, because they want our point of view. Like, did the editor will ask us for our POV on it to say like, "Hey, did this resonate with you or did this not?" So when that happens, they don't normally have the audiobook out by that time. Isn't it bad you're in New York, you have to go to LA now too? Simpleton, what's wrong with that? I actually have never I've been to LA, but never like I know New York way better than LA, I'll say it like that. I've been to LA 3 times, maybe 4. Yeah, 4, but that's just 'cause the airport. So I don't really count that, but 3. I've been to LA 3. Not too bad. I love the older Blizzard games. Rouster, you will love the book, that Jason Schreier did for, Blizzard if you like the older ones because you actually, play nice, The Rise and Fall, and Future of Blizzard, you will like that book because they talk a lot about the older Blizzard, and they compare and contrast with the newer Blizzard and why Blizzard will probably why we probably will never see a Blizzard again. I'll say it I'll say it like that. I don't play a lot of GF because I have Xbox. Ah, okay, so it's not a big deal for me. I did recently start playing Diablo 4 on GFN a little bit recent, but just a couple of hours here. See, I'm gonna play and so this is the thing, like, I think I told y'all I was gonna get a PlayStation 5 Pro, and the reason I'm gonna get that is because I have, like, a gift certificate to Best Buy, and I also have, like, a gift certificate that my work randomly gave me, and that pays, like, I don't know, like, $500 of the 700, and they can like, I have to use it, like, it's not like I can just go buy groceries with this stuff. So, but again, I'm not gaming, but I wanna game I wanna use it because of Diablo. So, yeah. Well, yay, Lion! How are you? Lion, we haven't seen you. What's going on? You doing alright? I don't get your notifications anymore for your, it's not called The Notebook. The Playbook? Is that the name of your show? Is it The Playbook? I think it is. I don't get the notifications anymore. I feel like there's a ton of good games. Joe, can you tell us when your game's getting released? I've not seen a release date. Haven't seen a release date. Anything over 2 hours of entertainment burns my head out. Yeah, even movies now. Have y'all found yourselves doing that? Like if it's a long movie, you're like, "Yo, when's this movie ending?" Even if it's like a decent movie? I find myself doing that a lot lately. Like, I don't know if that's just because I'm used to, like, getting information so fast, I'm like, "Hurry up, get to the point." Or maybe it's just because movies aren't good anymore? I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Cassie and Frank saying, "Yes, actually, that's it." I just added up my Diablo 4 playtime since October 8th, 115 hours. Yep, wow, wouldn't work for you. Well, it could, Crow, but you would have to pay, like, $40. But that's what I'm saying, like, GFN I don't think you play Diablo 4 way and that's just Diablo 4. I'm sure, girl, you must have crazy numbers. Yeah, Roger, that's what yeah. Yo, Lo-Fi, what's going on? Pretty sure that, like church, I burst into flames, so I step foot in Cali. I'm not progressed enough for that state. Simpleton, you were writing pretty, actually, California has some pretty conservative parts of California. I'll let you know. Like, the eastern part of California is super conservative. Um, but Simpleton, you live in Massachusetts. What are you talking about? That's like the intellectual progressive capital of the world. Um, what's going on? I doubt that. Yeah, I know, Roster. I don't think you burst in flames. No, I'm still grinding away. I felt creatively drained recently. See, so Joe, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Like today, like I said, there's gaming news. So, and I don't really cover stuff like this, but so Death Stranding, the game by Kojima, is now on Xbox. And so someone like 2 people sent me this, like, "Oh, look, this is on Xbox." And I don't know if I just bust their bubble or what, but I was like, I got Death Stranding for free 2 years ago with the Epic Game Store giveaway that they do during the holidays. I got Death Stranding for free. So I'm like, Why yeah, like, you coulda got it for it's not cool if you like, you got it for free. I don't know, maybe, "Hey, Cherry Man, what's going on? Yeah, we fancy here in Massachusetts." I could imagine Joe, I yeah, where Simpleton's trying to play off. I think Simpleton's trying to, like, blend in now, you know? He's, like, super Simpleton's probably the most woke person. I'm joking. Just wanted to say that word, woke person here in the chat. I ain't read a book since 2000. Thought I took my 11-year-old niece to my local library for geometry, and I was speaking from 2000. Oh my goodness. Geometry. They gave it away like twice. Yeah, look, I know. This is my thing. This is what I told like the Xbox because this person's an Xbox content creator. And I told him, content creators sometimes like they have like everything a lot of times. And but he's Xbox centric content. And I was like, this is like an easy not a win. Like, because if you're gonna say you're gonna get 5 games like 5 years after they released, then you can't hate on Nintendo, right? Because that's what Nintendo does. And no one gets super excited when Nintendo gets Red Dead Redemption 2. And it's like, yeah, because it released a long time ago. So that's what I told him. I was like, "Yeah, figure out some other, like, talking points and you should be good." Well, the Death Stranding belongs to game, not Sony, and I've had it for free download free. Exactly, so I to agree. It's I if you're talking about games that took me 2 hours and I put that that's a game. So if you're gonna talk to I'm like, "Great, have fun with it." The only person I know who really loves that game is Rock, and, that's it. Like, and I don't think I like the games Rocks likes. That's all I can say. Looks like apple juice. Which one? This one? No, it's it's a drink that I do a lot of. It has like a lot of vitamins. You know, when you get older, this is how I get my vitamins in. True story. In here, usually do it in the morning, but I didn't do it today. So that's what we're doing right now. I'll have to check out that Blizzard history. I vividly remember killing my friend in Warcraft, who's such an amazing. Yeah, what you're gonna like about it is because they talk about the founding of Blizzard, and then they talk about the struggles of it, and basically they also talk about the culture of Blizzard, which I don't think could survive today because it was like a really brutal culture. Like they crossed so many lines, and really the only reason they were able to work on a game was because, like, the CEO was being investigated for fraud. It's weird, but you realize, like, reading the book, how many times, like, successes are done by accident, and in my opinion, why I'm so, like, pro smaller gaming titles or companies or publishers is because there's just things that you can do in a smaller publisher, like a smaller game team, that once you get too big, you just can't do. And I think the magic happens when it's a smaller company versus this larger company. Why do you cut me? Why do you Whoa. I did it cut you, simpleton? Just at times, we're Severin. He's one of the people who uses that term. Just the time that passion it creates is low and not something that can be faked. I get it. And I totally get it. Totally get it. The rate I was waste on patches on a game that I feel like I could wait for a 5-year-old game. I so Holtz, you're hitting on something I really agree with. So the last time I bought a game day and date, so let me lie to you. I just bought a game day and date today. That game, and I really I downloaded it. I pre-ordered it like earlier this week, and it's actually a game that just got released on GFN, but it's called the Empire of the Ants. And so obviously I love bees because they're like I think bees are just super cool. But ants are, like, right up there for, like, insects I really love. And I think the reason I like it is because it's very hierarchical, people are working really hard, like, you need them. Like, I just think, like, it's amazing what they do, right? And so they came out with this game called Empire of Ants, and it's like a real-time strategy game, but it has, like, really beautiful graphics. Like, I'm talking, like, Pikmin level graphics here. And I know some of you are like, "Pikmin's on Switch." Yeah, but Pikmin, I like the art style, and Empire of Ants kinda has that similar feel to it. So I did get it, and I got it so I could play it on the PS5 Pro, but I didn't get the PS5 Pro because 'cause I'm, like, not gaming. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see. My PC is forcing an update. Oh, geez, Amby. And work has been busy and really mentally drained. Joe! Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. So I think, like, work. Right now, I'm doing kinda cool things with work. So, to be very frank, like, when things like this, like the election, you have people changing powers in government, you have business priorities changing, my world becomes super, uh there's a lot of change. That's all I gotta say. And so my world becomes, like, super, like, and, so today I was, like, on the phone with, like, some really cool people. When I say really cool, like, people who are, like, really, really smart, and, it was really interesting to get their point of view. I find that stuff interesting, like learning about stuff. And so if you had asked me this question, like, 4 months ago, I would've been like, "Oh, I'm kinda burned out at work. I'm looking for a new job." I think I told y'all that. And now I'm kind of, like, in a different space. Like, I find that the work I do is really needed right now. So it's somewhat fulfilling, but ask me this in 6 months. What's the vitamin you speak of? What gaming stats do they boost? It's called actually something boost. I would have to go look at the package. But let me see. I may be able to tell you right now. Um, Actually, I can tell you exactly what it is. I don't know what it actually boosts, but it's Herbalife. So there's a, I don't know what you want to call it, but there's like a storefront for Herbalife in what in New York State they call like the town over. But if I was in Texas, I would say the neighborhood over. But in the town over, there's an Herbalife like storefront, and um they do smoothies, but they also do these teas, and I find that they actually curb my appetite and they make me feel, maybe it's a placebo effect, I'll be honest, but I actually do feel better after I've been on like their products and drinking and stuff. And so, yeah. So that's one reason I drink it. It curbs my appetite, but the other reason I drink it is because it does have a lot of vitamins and stuff that I need. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, Lo-Fi, really? Yeah, you should get it. It came out today. Empire of Ant came out today. Make books great again. There's so many good books, though. My book reading habits have changed. Like, I like to read more about, I don't like autobiographies, but I like, for one, I like Malcolm Gladwell. So if y'all know who Malcolm Gladwell is, he's like kind of like this. What does he consider himself? Like a social anthropologist or something? I don't know. But he talks about like conditions in the world and he tries to describe phenomenon. So I really like that. But then I also like stories about like the Blizzard book. So anything about gaming, um, I generally read, and just because the way they talk about it, they always, it kind of has like this beginning of the game and then the middle of the game and then what happened at the end, and it's just as easier to follow. So those are the two types, and then obviously like a lot of like self-empowerment and financial literacy stuff. So even though I'm really good at financial literacy, I like to see if there's like any new concepts evolving. So things like portfolio management, it's really interesting because like every 4 to 6 years, like, there's a new portfolio theory that makes a portfolio that can beat the market. So it's always, like, interesting to read those. And, so yeah, and so I'm sure, uh, there's gonna be a new one, like, coming up in a few years. Uh, so it's interesting. Mabag. Make books awesomely great. Ooh, awesomely. I heard Boston tea is the best for calories as you just toss them in the water. Oh, hold, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Let me drop this if y'all want to come on. If not, I can talk. Like I said, I don't really have just been tired. I just wanted to talk to y'all. Like I've been really tired. PS5 Pro came out. There were some games that came out. And all right, Joe, I got you. Let me copy this link. Link copied. Um, and this is weird now. I just want to say this. This is really weird because um they they changed the UI of Restream. And so it's like it's confusing me. So but yeah, that is that's the link. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to talk to you like I said, I've been really tired. Uh and now, getting to the holiday season, I do want to I kind of set this goal of being like 2 to 3 games. And yeah. Oh, Tears of the Kingdom. I gotta restart that. Rudix is gonna give me a hard time if I don't beat that. So weird. Like like so many people I've met in the community, I feel like the deadlines they give me to beat things, I hold more firm than like my actual job. And so I'm like, oh, Rudix is gonna beat me up if I don't beat Tears of the Kingdom. Any Oak might do it too. But yeah, so that's that. And then I think listening to books, I agree. I agree. Listening to books is cool. And podcasts. I also listen to a lot of podcasts. So a lot of people who do podcasts in the community I listen to. But that's what I do. That's what I do. Um, what else has been going on? I think there's like actually several things in gaming news coming out recently. Oh, oh, I know what I want to talk about. Welcome back, roster. Um, so if y'all remember, about a month ago, y'all should saw like my inflection changes when I'm about to say something like crazy. Like a month ago, big large company said that you could buy their games starting in November on the Android app or on an Android phone. So Android phone. This is Android. And I just want to say it's November and you can't do it. And so my question is, when gaming companies don't come through on things that they said they would do you think they should be held accountable? Because I have a theory, all right? And and I don't want to get political, but I will say for the most part, I feel like politics is like that. Like businesses in politics promise things all the time. And instead of being accountable, they then promise something else. And then before you know it, they end up promising the same thing over and over, but they keep switching it and moving things. And so I feel like that's what's happening with gaming. A month ago, it feels like, yeah, I remember that. Great, roster, you remember that? But we can't buy things on mobile anymore. We can't, or ever. And it just is, it's kind of weird. You've been looking at it because you think it would be great? Yeah, exactly. So I say this, roster, because basically I go on the PlayStation app when I'm at work or traveling on the train. And that's actually kind of the thing I do every Monday is look at what's on sale. And I download the game. I buy the game and then I download it. And because it's like, I don't know, remotely turns on my PlayStation, by the time I get home, the game's downloaded. Right? So it's kind of like Stadia in a way, but not really. But I can't do that on Xbox, but I can do it on PlayStation. And Xbox told us that we would be able to do that. So I don't know. I don't know. We can't do it. Like I got Rogue Book Deluxe on Xbox for like did you? You mean to be able to buy them on my phone? I think it would, Rouster. I totally agree with you on this one. Another thing, so Darksiders 2 recently received a remaster. Like, so it's like super definitive edition, whatever. And it's in like 4K. I love Darksiders. I want to go back and play it. And when they did this, you could only get the remat, like you got the update patch for free if you had Darksiders. So I had, oh, we have a guest. And so I had the decision. Even though I have Darksiders on GFN, I was like, I have to pay $20 and the game is $30. So I was like, but I don't want to rebuy the game. So I came up with the smart idea, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without my phone. I bought the Darksiders Whips and Blades pack, which includes Darksiders 1, 2, and 3 for $10. And I got the free upgrade. But with that, we got to guess. Yo, what's going on?
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm doing well, Joe.
Excellent, excellent. That's good to hear.
How are you doing in old Massachusetts?
Oddly warm. It's been
Really?
like it's been like bizarrely warm. It was like 77 degrees out yesterday or something crazy like
That
that. I
is
don't know.
crazy.
It's November. Like it should be winter already.
M
I don't know.
Maybe hell is freezing over? Some people would say that.
Maybe.
Some people would say that. Uh, so what's going on, Joe?
I don't know. Kind of a lot of the same. Similar to what you were saying. Just haven't played a lot of stuff lately. Been busy, whatever. Just not really like not really feeling it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't
Sure.
know if there's just like not a lot of stuff that sparks my interest, or I don't know. Just
Yeah, I think so Joe, question, like, do you think it's stuff outside of gaming? Do you think it's gaming in general? Or do you think it's like you're making a game, so you're looking for things to help inspire you for your game?
um, I think it's a little bit of not the best answer, but it's probably a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Like making a game. Uh, it's like way more mentally. To like actually do it, like put the game together. Like it's not super hard. Like anyone could learn it. Anyone could learn how to do it. But to make a good game, it's like very mentally taxing, And once you're kind of in the grind and in the groove, you work on it, and then you're like, oh shoot, it's 1:30 in the morning, and I have to get up at 5:30 to go to work.
You know that feeling. I know
Like
that
we
feeling.
probably want to stop. That used to be me like playing games. Now I don't play games like that anymore. But like working on a game, it's like that. And then it just gets to the point where I think every developer that works on a game at one point like hates their game, like hates the idea. Whether they because you've played it a million times and you think it's good, or you think you have gotten enough feedback on it to like I'm gonna keep put seeing this thing through to the end. And I think for me personally, at some point you got to kind of step back and just like take a break, because otherwise, if you see it too much, you
True.
either start missing like errors, which is what I was kind of running into. Like a bunch of stuff was just breaking, and I wanted to like throw my computer out the window. Um, and it was because I'm working on it late at night. It's like midnight, and mistakes happen. Uh, you know
Uh,
that type of stuff, because as everybody else is busy with family and kids or whatever whatever they got going on. Most of my development time is like after 8, between the hours of like 8 p.m. and 1 a.m. realistically. So I think between that, and I personally, I don't think that for me there hasn't been a ton of great games that have come out recently. Like I've been playing some like the new Dragon Age, which is like here and there, only a couple hours. But like other than that, haven't really.
how do you like the Dragon Age?
Um, So I played the other Dragon Age games. I wouldn't say I'm like a super like lore aficionado or anything like that. Um, if you take the game for what it is, I think it's decent. You know, if you take it, if you don't go into it expecting to get like OG Dragon Age game, which I know a lot of users probably expected that. You know, I think it's okay if you realize that it is an quote unquote somewhat older franchise trying to target a younger audience that is not Joe, because that's probably who they're trying to target based on like the dialogue and kind of, you know, there's some signs in there with how things kind of go down that it's probably targeted at a younger demographic. Um, you know, and if you take it for what it is, I think it's a decent game.
So, Joe, question about that because I had this conversation with Marcus G. Knight. Shout out to Marcus if he's out there. Internet of Games. I don't know if you're, he was
Hmm.
part of the Stadia crew.
Yeah.
And Marcus kind of had a similar perspective of the Star Wars game that came out like 2 months ago. Star Wars Outlaws. I
Yeah.
think that's it,
Yeah.
right?
So there was when it came to that game, what I'm a huge Star Wars nerd,
Okay.
like a really big Star Wars fan. I enjoyed the game itself. I'll say it was mid at best, you know. However, the small little details is what I really enjoyed about the game. You know,
Okay.
like whether it was like the little consoles with all the blinking, you know, red and blue lights, and it just looked Star Wars. You know, the aspects of the game that just like looked like Star Wars. I really enjoyed that. The game as a whole, I mean, as long as you weren't expecting like a you know a Skyrim version game, but in a Star Wars universe, then you're all right. If you wanted this huge like open world, do whatever you want type situation, then you're probably disappointed.
Ah. So, like, how do you? So okay, so you kind of have this perspective of gaming of like, hey, if you kind of set your expectations,
Hmm.
it's a decent game. Do you find yourself like, is that exhausting to continually have to set your expectations on some of these games, or have you just come to the conclusion that hey, this is what it is. This is the genre.
Well, for like big for in today's day and age, in my personal opinion, for AAA games, you almost have to do that because,
Ooh,
like you mentioned before, small teams and small groups of teams can like pivot and do certain things and tell interesting stories in interesting ways. And a lot of these, you know, big AAA games, it's all about money at the end of the day.
yeah.
I mean, look at the whole Prince of Persia teams working on other stuff, you know, and like literally they announced the whole team's working on other stuff. And the day before that, the game engine I use, it's the Unity game engine, and they won like best. I forget the award they won, but the game won an award. Literally the same day they announced that the whole team's working on
You
other
serious?
things.
It's an amazing game.
It's a great game. I thought especially for like a platformer quote unquote game, which is like from a small developer standpoint, that's like the hardest. It's usually the number one genre indie developers go for, and it's one of the hardest, like most competitive genres to even like make any headway in. Um, but I feel that a lot of these big AAA games they can't overarchingly, very broadly, they can't really tell super interesting stories. It's harder and more challenging for them because it is about shareholders and paychecks and you know all that good stuff at the end of the day.
No, I think I think it's almost like anything that's a large organization,
Hmm.
right? Like you have to get so much data about why are we making this
Yeah,
decision, and
I
then
mean,
what
both of us have worked for really large organizations
large
previously,
organization.
right?
Yeah.
Outside of the army, like large
Yeah.
corporate organizations, and I know my experience at an organization like that. It was almost at times analysis paralysis because of the amount of data that needed to be retrieved before a decision was made when there was like obvious signs that said decision need to happen, but like no one wants to make said wrong decision because you know everyone's worried their jobs on the line or you know whatever the case may be. And I feel like with a lot of these big game studios, especially with all the layoffs and stuff that we've seen in the industry and studios shutting down and everything else, that's how a lot of these games are. You know that stuff's just there. I mean, you can tell even in Dragon Age, you can tell that there's definitely elements of like live servicey type stuff because at one point there was going to be like a live service aspect to Dragon Age and they pulled it back
Mm.
But like in the development, you can see like, okay, I get why there's like this random boss here, and this isn't really like a culmination of a story
Ah.
because this was going to be like a gated area where like the random boss is going to drop thing X, like typical kind of live servicey type game, and you can see those aspects, and they pulled it back, in my opinion, thankfully. But a lot of that stuff comes down to dollars and cents at the end of the day.
No, 100. I mean, I think something you said that I think I said this on the channel not too long ago, but kind of one of my red flags now when I talk to an organization that I may look to work with or work for is like when their mantra is like data informed, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
because now to me what that means is like you're going to want so much data to drive consensus, right? And in my opinion, like that's like
I think it all depends. So
to you.
if you're so for an example, and I'll share broadly. It doesn't make a difference to me. I'm currently a federal employee, right,
Oh,
working for a federal agency, and in the position I'm in, there was no data to drive the position. Everyone was just going off of like what they felt or thought, and I work in TA. I work in talent acquisition. So they're going like, oh well, like we get a lot of engineers from X university, but like, has anyone looked to see like how many engineers graduate from that university versus the 300 others in the area that we cover? You know, so at times, if there is no data to make a decision on, I think data is super valuable. But when there's like so much data and so much like buy-in that you have to get from stakeholders and all that, I'm doing the air quotes, stakeholders and all that good stuff. Right, exactly. Yeah, you're laughing because you know exactly what I'm saying. And when it gets to that point, it's a roadblock at that point.
yeah, no, when you're starting to, it's like a super simple decision and they're saying, well, where am I on the racy? You're like,
Right.
oh, I have to do a racy now for for this. Oh, okay. And I have to get the racy signed off.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this
What
is
we're going to order for lunch for this training next week. Sure.
yeah,
Yeah. We'll do that.
okay, yeah.
But I feel
Uh,
like all of that correlates very directly to the gaming industry
yeah.
because it's less about interesting stories, creative ideas. I mean, think about when was the last time you played a game that truly had a new mechanic or somewhat updated mechanic or something new and different where you were like, wow, this is cool, you know?
The last time I played it, so I think the games I get really sucked into do this, but I'm gonna say the last time I played something where I was like, "This is cool." A new mechanic, maybe not, but a twist on a mechanic.
Right. Hmm.
And I'm gonna say probably, Prince of Persia. Did you play it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I played it some.
'Cause so the idea of you if you think about the puzzles, but the puzzles where you have to, like, teleport back.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And then you end up having and you can
Right.
do another one and you got to tell and then you end up having 3 of your guys going at the
Hmm.
same time.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of
No,
cool
it's super cool.
because you had to, like, time it, and especially in some of the puzzles, you have to be like, "Okay, I'm sitting here for 5 seconds, then let me do this to do this, so then my next guy can do." I thought that was cool.
Yeah, yeah. The one I saw recently, it's a small solo developer built a really tiny game that effectively at its core was like Snake, on your phone, but it's like a shoot 'em up. So your Snake is like all little dudes with guns, and you're like, so it's all these dudes like walking in a line, like Snake, and then you're like shooting all these enemies and all this other stuff. So it was like this weird, like vampire survivors meets Snake situation, which is like totally unique and different. Super simple game mechanic at the end of the day. And your little line of like soldiers gets longer and longer and longer, and you're just destroying everything in your path or whatever. And that was like one of the more interesting ones I've seen in the past week. You know?
Yeah. No, I think, like, so there's definitely and obviously I'm gonna be playing this game, Empire of Ants.
Mm,
I'm really looking forward to that, just to see what it's gonna be, but no, you're right. I think To do that though, you have to have a smaller and I think Sour Below is here. Sour Below, this is Herbalife tea. It has a lot of vitamins in it, and that's what it is. But I think like so the bigger companies that have to have like shareholders and investors, and you have to like beat revenue expectations year over year. Like there's a point to where you're not going to beat it. You're going
Right.
to force yourself to a point where you can't beat it. You're trying to push out as many games as possible to sell as much, and it's not going to be really good. Like I think a lot of gaming companies are finding themselves in this situation right now.
Hmm.
Um, and you can tell by the game, like it's like you're cutting out on story. You're cutting out on art or bug, or the game mechanic is very basic for this huge team. And yeah, I'm not sure though if that's why I'm in like my gaming, like because I'm excited about games right now, but I just feel like
I think it's just carving out the uh, time and space ultimately. Like
space,
for me, that's what it comes down
the
to. Because like
headspace.
I'm working on my game, and then I shared some screenshots of like another project I'm working on, which is actually like my, I wouldn't say dream game, but it's like my super passion project game, right? Um, and it may get finished, it may not. Who knows? I haven't
Hopefully
quite
it does.
decided. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Um, so, because there's like a lot of personal connection for me with that game. So we'll see if I bring it to life or not, or continue to bring it to life. But between that and work, new relatively new job, etc. Kids, school, all the things, and then it's like, man, I just want to sit for 5 minutes. Like I don't even want to pick up the controller or whatever the case may be. I think it's hard to carve out that time. Never mind like having the energy to do content creation or stream or whatever the case
Yeah,
was.
100%.
I mean it's I think it all comes to like a time and space
100%.
situation.
100%. Yeah, I think it's a time, but it's a lot of like mental headspace for me right now. Like
Hmm.
to kind of escape, to try to like get into that. I mean, like I said, I find my time for when I stream. Like someone like Any Yolk, I give her so much credit because she streams every day and she's into it. But for me, I'm like,
Right, it's like Rudigs. I swear he streams like two, three, 4 times a day
Rubik's
sometimes,
has
or it
like
seems
two,
that
three
way.
streams, two podcasts.
Yeah, it's
He has
crazy.
like
I'm like
everything.
whew,
He has time to then jump in your streams.
right, yeah, like
It's like I'm just like, well, I can't. No.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Yeah. Oh, and then sorry, you thought it was vodka or whiskey? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna. I mean, there's been streams I've drank a little bit, but not now. Like I said, I'm too. Like I'm trying to. I think I'm just trying to like. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to ground myself right now. I think that's it. I'm trying to ground, trying to find space um and rest because
Yeah,
I am tired.
I
I
think I'm
like I can
trying
feel my
to
tired.
channel my creative energy appropriately,
Yeah.
right? Because like the marketer in me knows I should just 86 everything else I'm doing on my YouTube channel, and it should just be about like game dev, but not like nitty gritty in the details game dev. More devlogs and what I'm doing and like from a marketing standpoint. Like if I want my game to like produce well, that's what I should do. Um, but personally, I'm like, my heart's not in that. You know what I mean? I like making the game, but like, I don't want to talk about how like, oh yeah, I've built this player controller like 6 times because it doesn't feel right and it's annoying. And the reason it doesn't feel right is because it feels one way on mouse and keyboard and another way on a controller, and like finding that happy balance. And like, it's all at this point for like the twin stick shootery game. It's all like little things like that. It's all like the details that every system is built. It's just the details, like, okay, this level design doesn't feel right, or um, I had a random person play a level and they beat it in like 7 minutes. I'm like, well, that's way too fast. Gotta fix that. You know. And then at the end, I'm like, it's pixel graphics. Do I want to update the artwork? I started messing around with that, and that's a whole other I don't have much artistic ability, so that's a whole other like financial consideration if I want to do that. And then I started looking into people to make my like Steam page art because I'm at the point where I could get the Steam page up, and like the prices are just through the roof.
What would a Steam page art look like?
So Steam, there's a lot of art you actually have to do for a Steam page. So the most important one is like the capsule. So like on the Steam page when you see the little picture like at the top corner or whatever.
Yeah.
But you have to do like I think it's off the top of my head. I want to say it's 6 versions of that capsule. Like there's like the big one, there's like a taller one, there's a wider one, yada yada yada. And ultimately the capsule is one of the things that helps sell your game. So I had looked into some folks on like Fiverr previously, and I had someone do some work for me in the past, but they were like brand new to Fiverr. So like I got the discount deal when they were still young in the game. So I went back to that same person, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I could do that for like like 275." Yeah, I'm like 270. Man, I might just throw some stuff together in Photoshop.
No.
Have my kid draw something on a piece of paper. I don't know, like 275 for some
So
Photoshop files.
I may know someone if you're open to it. And what was the pricing that you they gave you before?
I think I paid $85 or something before.
All
It's
right,
like
Joe, I
under
may
100
hit you
bucks.
up. Let me go talk to my people
Yeah, yeah. And
and
like I
see.
said, I'm not super. At the end of the day, I don't anticipate. I mean, I hope my game does well, but as long as I make my $100 back that I spent on Steam, like that's all I care about. Because I've released one, and once you get the first one out of the way, the second one's easier. I'm still going through all the headaches and bumps and bruises and integrating, Steam achievements. Like, oh, well, that's 3 weeks of work. That's going to take forever, and like all the little things to get it right. And that's never mind once it is out there, incorporating player feedback in and fixing whatever I'm sure bugs are going to exist or whatever the case may be. Um,
Yeah.
so like creatively, that's like all of my energy outside of work is that. And then when I need a break from it, that's when I'm working on like the other
The other your the
secret
passion
spooky
part,
3D game thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
the
it's
super
all
passion.
yeah. I mean, it's a passion project. It started for me personally as like a coping project, to be honest. So
Uh,
it's all centered around like dealing with stages of grief.
ooh, so kind of like Tequila Works here, that
Yeah,
game dev. They
yeah.
deal a lot with it. And we have a question from Sour. So
Game
Sour
engine.
asks a couple of questions. Do you have a game out yet? And no, Sour, this Joe is just now putting together his first game,
Yeah.
right?
So this will be my first commercial game. I've
First
done a bunch
commercial.
of small stuff. Like I did a fun little game. Oh, gosh, I think it was a year ago. It's super buggy. It's on itch.io. You could probably download it today. It might make your computer explode though. Um,
We don't want that. We don't want
it's like a little zombie shooter I did with my 10-year-old daughter, where she did all the voices and sound effects. So it's like a little 3D zombie shooter thing that we put together and some other games. But I'm using the Unity game engine. Currently working on like a dungeon crawler meets Enter the Gungeon with really self-aware comedy about a wizard with no magic. Yeah, that's
that.
it's
And
like
we're
a
gonna be buying it.
yeah.
Day and date.
That's the long and short of it. And I hope to have the Steam page up by the end of the month,
We'll
where
see. We
where
might we
people
might
can
be able
wish
to
list
help
it.
on that. And then also, Cyrilo wants to know what game engine you're using. Unity.
Unity, yep, yep.
Unity.
So I tried others. Unreal was like too much. I've been using Unity for a long time. I tried Godot for a bit when like Unity was like, oh, we're gonna charge people a gazillion dollars. But then I kind of went back to Unity because I've just been using it for so long. It's one of those things. It's like if you create content and you use a particular video editor, you're a Premiere person, a Final Cut person, a whatever, DaVinci Resolve person. Like after a while,
You just
that
know
that
it.
that's just your thing. You know what I mean? Like you kind of set in your ways. So yeah, I went back to Unity using the Unity game engine. And they got some interesting features and updates. They just came out with a big update for the whole engine that really helps with a lot of things, like optimization stuff and stuff like that you don't consider, because I purposely test my game on like a fairly crappy computer. Because if it works on that, it'll work on nearly anything. So
No, I think that's that. Hey, I that's the way to do it.
Yeah,
right? Because now
totally.
they'll Joe, like I said, we're all good. I'm excited about it. I know there's a couple of people, who are, looking for they saw your when you came on, and so I know I'll probably be giving away copies of it. I'll be buying it and giving
Yeah, which I will greatly appreciate the support. The biggest thing, though, I mean, obviously, I will be super pumped people purchasing it. Um, but I'm going to say this: till the game comes out, the biggest thing people can do to support it when it comes out, obviously, buy the game. It's going to be less than $10. I'm just letting you know now, so it'll be cheap. Skip buying a coffee one day during the week, and you'll be able to afford the game. Um, and but the biggest thing people can do is review it because it's
Okay.
really those 10 reviews, getting past that 10 review threshold as quickly as possible once the game actually releases is like the biggest signal to Steam to start like picking your game up in like new and trending and blah 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 and like all those things. So
We'll definitely do that. I mean,
that's like the
the
biggest.
community, and
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure I will get my 10 review mark relatively quickly, especially with the price point and all that jazz. So
you know what I mean. So we have, my favorite game reviewer in the entire community. I'm not sure he was in chat earlier. His channel's Extra Life Reviews. He
yeah, yeah,
actually did I think he did his interview after you came on the last time.
right.
Uh I think I might gift him a game to review your game.
Oh, that would be awesome. I would
Because
greatly
he
appreciate that.
has a pretty solid traction. He's like gaining traction. He does really good reviews, gets up into like the 500 to 1,000. So he's like building, I
Very
think,
cool.
big, and he does like his crowd is I like his vibe.
Very cool.
So
So, Sour Blow, to answer your question real quick, it'll release after the next fest, which is February. Um, I was targeting early March. That may shift a little bit depending on factors and player feedback of the demo and all that type of stuff. So hopefully, like I said, in the next 20-ish days, I'll have all my ducks in a row for the Steam page. Get it out there. The demo, you'll be able to play it. It's going to be a short demo because at the end of the day, I'm making a short game. I mean, I would be surprised if someone wouldn't be able to at least beat the game on like a 2-hour stream. Now, to find out like the Easter eggs and secrets and achievements and all that stuff, it might take you like 3.5 hours, maybe, depending on how quickly you went through the game. Out of Mana is what the game's called.
can
You
we
cannot, you can't wish list it yet.
out of mana?
Yeah.
But we are creating by end of month a Steam page.
Yep, you will be able to wish list it by the end of November.
Yeah.
Come hella high water. I might not have the demo all buttoned up, but like either way, I'll have all my screenshots and all that jazz. I'm hoping to have the demo out at the end of November, but to make a really like polished, tight demo that give folks a very good impression of the game, um, takes time. So
And if you type in out of mana into the Steam page, you get the Magic the Gathering Arena
hmm
game.
yep,
And I just want to tell I just realized that that is a game. So
yeah, Magic the Gathering, yeah, out of Mana, yeah,
Arena?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like, 'cause I have Magic the Gathering cards that I collect. Don't ask me where I
Yeah.
got these things. And, I vaguely remember, like, someone trying to teach me how to play Magic the Gathering in high school way back, like, in the early '90s. And, so yeah, I will be checking that. I know it doesn't have anything to do with our out of mana. I just thought I would talk to you on that. That's what comes up.
Okay. Yeah. No. Excellent. No, it should show right up because no one else claimed that name specifically, according to Steam. So hopefully we don't run into any issues.
No, you won't. You won't. No, you won't. I just saw that there was this other thing there. So we will be definitely checking it out. Well, like I said, we'll have to definitely try to get you some help on the thing, and hopefully someone who's not going to charge you arm
Like,
and leg just to
yeah,
create
like
your
$300. I was like, oh man. But
dude.
if not, I mean, I can always update that stuff afterwards. So like I said, I really don't. I'm not overly super concerned about it, but the biggest thing that I want to get, because if anybody's looked at like any of my Twitter posts or seen stuff that I've posted around, is like the dialogue's kind of tongue in cheeky and very kind of self aware. So that's probably I mean, the game mechanics themselves, I'm pretty confident they're going to be pretty solid and locked in just due to the time I've put in. But I think like the dialogue and like, is it too much? Is it not enough? I think that's going to be one of the pain points that I'm going to see with my player base, but we'll see.
Cool. And then also with your, we'll talk about it offline, Joe. If you can just send me requirements, what you need done.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Super. I mean,
Yeah, I'll talk. I
I'm
just
basically
realized
just going off what Steam requires, and they've got a template for everything. I just need
perfect.
someone that can do the arty stuff.
Cool. Cool. I'm looking. Yeah, we'll definitely work on that. Uh, and then so you're not. So Joe, what are you doing? You know, not gaming right now. Your creativity is kind of somewhere.
I mean, to be honest, a lot of it's been spent. Like I said, I recently took a new job, and my position didn't exist before, so a lot of it's been like target audience analysis and how we're going to reach certain groups of people and how we're going to get working with all our like diversity program folks and how we're going to get more diverse folks into federal employment. And if I've been doing tons of virtual training on USA jobs and federal resumes and how they're different and all that type of stuff. So a lot of my creative energy has been going
No,
towards that.
I can understand. And then I think we could talk about it some other. I wonder if just wondering if anything's going to change within the next few months in your role.
No, not really. I mean, so that's part of the reason what took the role when I did is it's very like cross trained. It's like even if our budget disappears or whatever the case may
That's what I
be,
yeah, I think
I'll
that's what
do more traditional like HR type stuff.
got it. Okay, so that's so okay.
Yep, employer relations, labor relations, that type of stuff. Um, or I mean, there's always going to be recruitment. We might not have to fill as many positions, but it doesn't mean I just can't like stop going out there, going to career fairs and talking to folks and all that good stuff. So
No, I look, man. I may have ran into some of your peers, and Sourbelow said what you're doing is pretty cool. Yeah, Sourbelow. When it comes out, don't worry. We're gonna Purple's gonna blast it. Joe's a great guy, veteran.
thank you.
I'm
I
actually
appreciate that.
glad you came on, Joe, because you're a veteran. This is right before Veterans Weekend. I know when we
No,
first did your interview like 2 years ago, it was like around this time, and
actually, yeah. Now that I think it
yeah,
was. Wow,
it was
that's
like
funny.
exactly like 2 years. You
Yeah.
vet. It's
Yep.
like a couple of you I had on around that time. You were Angry Poultry back then.
Angry Poultry Games. Yep.
And so yeah, so I am super like just like to like as soon as you get it out, really blasting it. I mean, you're for sure gonna get 10 reviews. Like I
Can,
said, I'm gonna
can I
be
do Can I do another shameless plug real quick
oh, go for it.
for any other veterans out there? I'm sure you can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me all over on the internet, to be honest, because I was a U.S. Army recruiter, so my face is all over the internet. But I'm sure you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm doing a federal careers workshop specifically targeted veterans
Really?
in January. So, like, if you can find it, check it out. I can't explicitly say, but take a look, find it. And I'm doing a federal careers workshop on how to navigate USA jobs, federal resumes, and the hiring pathways that are available to
I
former service members.
I love this because I think there's so well what you're doing is amazing,
Thank you.
right?
Appreciate
Just
that.
because right. Well, we know not every veteran's like probably like there's some veterans that are probably not as high speed as others.
No, for sure. Yeah.
But I definitely think, when you go in the military, everything's just kind of show up, right time, right uniform. That's 90% of the battle.
Hmm.
And the next 10% is like the right mindset. But I think when we transition out, civilian world doesn't work like that. And navigating the world is a little different.
Hmm.
And it's kind of a jarring experience because you go, I'm curious what this new generation is, but like going war on terror, right? We kind of got that hero worship going on, and everybody's like, "Thank you for your service" and all these things. But then you get out of here, and it's a different experience. It's like you told me one thing, but I'm experiencing something else. And
My
the,
first job out of service, I got told that I was too much. My personality was too much of an alpha.
yeah,
That's what I was literally told. Like, well, meeting with you is tough because you have a strong personality. You're kind of too much of an alpha personality,
Yeah.
and I don't know how to respond to that.
You should like so as like a like as a woman, like, and when I do stuff and I have such a hard time with working with women.
Mm,
'Cause they're like, you're too direct," or "You're too you can't say stuff like that," or "You're making us feel a certain way," and it's like and these and I'm not trying to say this like, people are like snowflake. This is like a lot of people,
hmm
and you kind of start to like how you hide yourself in a way, but then people are like, "Well, bring your full self," and I think things are changing, obviously. Like as far as just really how to appreciate a veteran and obviously there's some things I had to change on how I communicated and
for sure.
um like the skill sets I brought versus
The skill
like
sets that we undervalue, like by
yeah,
default, that we bring.
yeah, and
I think every former service member goes through that. They don't realize what they bring
they don't
to the
realize what they
table.
bring and then like what we say a lot. Well, we were army, right? So army we always take pride in if you go to a naval base, you see boats. If you go to an Air Force base, you see planes. If you go to an Army base, you see statues of people because we're people
You see
organization.
soldiers.
You
That's
see
what you see.
soldiers.
That's it.
And to understand how so you got to understand how to motivate soldiers. You have to understand how to meet soldiers and like how to lead, how to gain trust, right? Um and but people think like, "Oh, when you're a leader, you just tell people what to do in the military and they do it." It's like, "No, you have to gain their trust." They just you're dealing with adults and they're trusting you many times with like at the end of the day that could be their lives, could be their families' lives, their well-being.
Yeah, it's that old adage, you're judged by the actions of your troops.
Yeah,
It
but
doesn't matter
it
what
but
you do as a leader, you're judged by your troops.
yeah. But when we say like, "Hey, we led," people think like, "Oh, you just told them what to do." But it's like, no, what we actually did is like, no, we had to bring people together. We had to like understand motivations. We had to understand what we were trying to accomplish. Build consensus on how we're gonna do it. Right? And then just kinda continue to move forward. But we don't learn how to say stuff like
Right,
that
yeah,
or how to translate that in a
for
resume, and
sure.
especially a USA jobs resume. I
That's it.
think what you're doing is, like, super super needed,
Yep.
and, I'm actually really looking forward to I'll check it out. I'll say it like that, you know?
Yeah, no, like I said, anybody's more than welcome to find me out there in the interwebs and check it out and tune in and learn about federal employment if that's something you're interested in.
Okay, hey, benefits,
Yeah.
benefits.
And
I
it
I
doesn't
mean, I
just apply to my organization, like USA Jobs is any federal employment. So just putting it out there.
no, I we just had a bunch of, I was just doing something at like a undergraduate career conference, and you see the U.S. The federal government's definitely represented there. I hope they, like I said, I hope they still, regardless of what some of the rhetoric is, I hope they continue to show up.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, I always tell folks it's like, all my time in service, people saw on the news, like, oh no, doom and gloom, the government, shut down, soldiers aren't getting paid and all this other nonsense. And 13 years in service, I never not got paid once. So,
Never got paid once.
I never not got paid once. You know
Never,
what I
you
mean?
would
Like,
just show up. It's like it'll happen,
so,
And
so
Roster's
like,
using some of my emotes. Cool, cool, cool. I'm so
excellent.
excited when I see people use the emotes.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I think like we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
that's what it
see.
is.
Think. Um,
But you should definitely check if you're looking for a cloud gaming handheld. Last thing, check out the Absolute thing. It definitely looks like a Logitech G Cloud knockoff, but it's budget friendly and has a way better screen. It's like a 7-inch 1080p
so Joe, are
60
you still
hertz.
doing cloud gaming?
That's all I do. I don't own a console, period.
You do. So you stuck with it.
That's
And
it.
what are you playing? What you're doing, Luna, with this?
So I do a combination of Luna, but I don't pay for it. I pay for Prime, so I get whatever games they put out for free and whatever's in my GOG library. Uh, I do a combination of Luna, GFN, and I talked to the folks at Boosteroid because I'd never checked out their service and got some Boosteroid time to check out and see what they're all about. So, but
Mm.
yeah, I mean that's where I may take my channel. I may take it, bring it back to its origin and just cover cloud gaming stuff. To be honest,
See, so I like handheld. I'm so Cherry Man. We have Cherry Man who's been here. He's obviously
the Cherry Man
handheld.
stuff's great.
Yeah, Cherry Man's obviously handheld guru
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the chat. And then cloud gaming. Like I said, I love Stadia, but now I have the PlayStation and I have an Xbox, and it's like, whoa, I have issues with the paying for the game, but you're actually piqued my interest here because you're right. Luna does have stuff, and I've really been excited about Ubisoft games. Like I know I'm going to be.
And if you keep on it and you have Prime, they release like 3 to a dozen games a month you can claim for free.
And do they stay with you or do they rotate
Yeah,
out?
they're yours. I just claimed today. What did I claim on GOG today? I claimed, oh gosh, I don't even remember. Dishonored Definitive Edition. So the game Dishonored, if you go to Prime Gaming's website right now, you can claim that for free, among a bunch of other games. But anything that shows up on GOG, I claim it because my assumption is eventually at some point in time, the GOG library is going to expand on what's available to Amazon Luna. Because I have like Hollow Knight, a bunch of other GOG games that I can play in the cloud right now for Prime, which I'm already paying for, and I'm not paying extra for like Luna Plus or whatever the heck the nonsense is. I'm just paying for my Prime membership, and then I've got some additional games in there that are in my GOG library. So
So here's what I like about it, and we see a Sour Blow. No worries, I'll be over there. Y'all, if you haven't, you want to check out Sour Blow Xbox International on Wednesdays. I was actually over there yesterday a little bit. But what I like about this, y'all, so I'm like looking this up. Let me actually bring this over here. What I'm actually looking up because Joe's brought this to our attention. I'm actually kind of low key might get this because here, let me show y'all what
and then with
I'm.
the Luna aspect, the Twitch streaming integration actually works pretty damn good, I will say.
Well, this is what I was looking at. Okay, so here is the
Oh, the
let's see.
absolute, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so let me see if I can bring both of us in here. Right there, we are. We're at the bottom,
yeah, gotcha.
and but and let me take off this. Just take this off. All right. So what I'm looking at right here is, and let me bring you right. I can't
So
do it.
I'll tell you my use case for it, right? So at the house on the network, it's cloud gaming. I go up, I'm sitting on the couch, whatever. I don't want to come down to the computer. I don't want to play on a tablet. I don't want to. I used to have like a controller I could attach to my phone, but I got a Pixel, so it doesn't like sit right and it gets all crazy. So it's easy just to cut on and just jump into a game. Boom. Or rather than having to like turn on my TV, all that jazz. It is the lightest handheld. It's like 730 grams. It's the lightest handheld I've ever held. And I had like the Razer Edge at one point. I had the Logitech G Cloud at one point. Um, and in the screen on it, like the videos don't do it justice. And it was like relatively cheap considering.
No, I think this. So here's where my use case comes in. Because what did I just tell you? I told you like I don't really use it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have an Xbox, I have a PlayStation, but I don't want to use XCloud because that is a subscription,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I do have Luna,
Mm-hmm.
so super cool. But guess what else, y'all? It does. Look at this PlayStation Remote Play.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It'll do remote play or Steam
Let's
remote.
do PlayStation
Yeah.
Remote Play, y'all. So this is
It's Android based, yes,
essentially
Rester. Yeah,
pretty kind of cool.
yeah.
You see the price up here, it's 209. I'm pretty sure I can find some type of discount on that somewhere. Um,
And then
but
it
yeah,
also they've got Hall effect triggers and joysticks, which like if you don't know what that is, it uses magnets. They're like some of the best triggers and joysticks you can get in all of gaming. The battery life on it is like crazy ridiculous. I'll take it on the train with me because I commute to work. So I'll install like some Android games on it, whether that like whatever that is, like Android games that don't require a internet connection. So they're usually like little small games, but then I can just play them on the train, no big deal. So yeah, it was a pretty cool find.
I mean, I could see myself like this is kind of cool, right? Like it's kind of in that price range where to your point, don't get me wrong, 200 is 209 is not cheap as I just talked about my me trying to cut down subscriptions. What does this 4 plus 64 mean? Storage.
It's like RAM and storage, yeah.
So 64 gigabytes?
Of storage, yeah. 4 gigs of RAM.
So
Which, like,
4.
you got to remember, if you're playing in the cloud or if you're playing with remote play, you're not using any of that.
Yeah, so I'm wondering like does this mean like um let's say I have a game that's 30 gigs that I don't want to play in the cloud, I could download it to this?
No, because it's only going to work on cloud services or remote play.
Okay, so it's
The
only
only games you're going to be able to like download and install on it are like offline Android games, right?
and
So
that's where we get the 64. Okay.
Alto's Odyssey, for example. I don't know if you've ever seen that game. It's like a mobile game. I downloaded that, so like I just have something to play on my 20-minute train ride
So would this mean like anything I could get from the Play Store?
for the most part. But there is no Wi-Fi. I mean, no cellular connection in it.
Right. So you would have to do the Play Store at your house on
Right, and it would have to be a game that doesn't require the internet.
right. So what I'm thinking about is one of my favorite games is Spiritfarer, which is on Android.
Yep, yep. You could put it on there.
Yeah,
It's
so
got the Play Store already on it. Comes with it already installed. It comes with the GFN launcher already installed. Luna already installed. Boosteroid, remote play for Steam, remote play for PlayStation. Like just turn it on out of the box. Good to go.
Rouster, what I would say, because I hear you, Rouster, what you're saying is 209 a little expensive. Here's what I would do, Rouster.
So I got mine for under 200.
You got yours for under two.
The various colors make a difference. Look on Amazon.
That's where
Yeah.
he said he's getting it for 109. This is what I would also tell Rouster to do. If this is something that you think, what is this bundle here, by the way? This comes with like a controller, which could be kind of cool. If this is something you're interested in, look to see if they're going to have like some type of Black Friday deal. Keep your eye on it just in case, right? I'm not saying they will, but if it's something that you're like, hey, it's something I'm like that's what I'm going to do. Like right now, I'm not like, I didn't buy the PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm not going to buy a handheld just to buy it, but I could see myself if I can like kind of like reground myself and it's gonna happen. Like I feel like I just need to get into like go for a run or do something. And then I'll be motivated. But I could see myself like actually really
Yeah.
liking
So
this.
I found it great for, even though I haven't made any, for content creation. Because I can just be sitting on and playing on the couch, and because it's an Android device, I can just screen record, like right on the device. So I can just
Wow.
record. I can record my gameplay, just playing on the sofa, and then just plug it into the computer and dump that video file onto my PC. If I wanted to do a review on a game or talk about a game mechanic, whatever the heck I'm doing, you can just screen record right locally on the device.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Well, okay.
I added it to
Okay.
my wish list. That's awesome.
No.
They're like a super small company, not like you don't see them out there a lot. I just kind of stumbled upon it and was like, I'll take a chance on it. So
Question. And can I connect it? Let's say I'm in my bedroom.
Mhm.
Can I connect this to the TV and can I connect it as like use the TV as a monitor? You know, like how they sometimes connect it.
Hardwired, not currently, because I tried that the other day. But I imagine that's just a software update. So I imagine at some point it may get that feature. It doesn't currently exist now.
Okay.
Um, I believe I'd have to double check. I believe you can cast it to a screen though.
I wonder how that would work.
I don't know what the latency would be like or whatever, but supposedly I only tried it with the Steam remote play stuff from my PC, um, and it worked really well. I was very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, no, I'm looking for it. Like, obviously, I wouldn't play like my X Defiant on it, but I think I could see myself like there's certain games that um I just need to kind of get through. And sometimes I don't want to be down here in the studio area. I want to be up in my
Right. Yep.
room. And it's like, it's at night. My bed's right there.
Or I think of like the game you just finished. If you wanted to do like a summary video or something and you don't want to go back and download all your live streams and like put it all together, you play a couple minutes on the handheld, you screen record it, it records some gameplay, you throw that in, you put put your face on it. Oh well, we just finished XYZ and it was mid at best because whatever, whatever the case may be. I don't know.
No, Joe. See that, Joe? That's the thing. Like, you're still, I love that. For one, I love that you're still cloud gaming
Yeah.
and you're sticking to that. Because that's how we met, right?
Yep.
Stadia, and I still
It's just
think
too
it.
easy to get in and get out. Like just turn and updating stuff and everything. I mean, at least in my experience, I was playing Hogwarts on boosteroids, sitting on the couch on that handheld, jumped in, played for 20 minutes. And then I'm, chasing the kids around in the backyard or what, just because like the time, especially where I'm burning the midnight oil, quote unquote, with the game dev stuff, most evenings, having those little pockets of, okay, I got 40 minutes. Like I could play a silly mobile game on my phone, or I could just grab the little handheld thing, jump into something, play for a bit and jump out.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it. It's something. It's on my wish list. Like, I was gonna get this really fancy aquarium before, like, I'm talking like a really
Mm.
fancy fish aquarium.
Fresh or
I'm
saltwater fish?
Great question.
I had
It
saltwater
was
fish
gonna
at one
be it
point.
was gonna be salt water, but then the
Hmm.
guy told me because it was gonna be like it was gonna be like a 300-gallon tank,
Hmm.
and but he said like I wanted the coral. That's what I was really excited. But he's like,
Yeah.
coral doesn't work with tall tanks. He's like, you want it, and so I was like, ah. So now it's like, okay, maybe we're gonna do fresh. Do you know a lot about tanks, Joe?
Yeah, I used to have a 75 gallon saltwater with like live coral and
Okay,
you
so
know
so I
we
wanted.
had Nemo, we had Dory,
So you had
we
all of
had
them.
we had
So
like little shrimps.
So now, like, I was gonna do a saltwater tank with all, but now he's like, "Oh, you can only do the fish. You can't really do the coral at that." So, blah, blah, blah. So then I was like, "Okay, maybe we're gonna do like a freshwater, like a African river tank." Like, so a lot of the cichlids and
Yeah,
because
very
those
cool.
are also really colorful.
Yeah.
And but I don't know. But now that's dropped from the priority. So because that's dropped from the priority, I now have like and that was gonna be expensive, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
now it's
For
like,
sure.
maybe I have time for something like this.
Yeah, you're gonna do a whole live stream on the aquarium when you get it.
I mean, I don't know. It's looking like next year because they have to, like, custom build it. It was
Yeah,
gonna
they're
act
a
as
lot
like
of work
a
to as a whole. Just like maintaining the dang
yeah.
things and.
So they were gonna charge like, they were gonna do it's gonna be like $125 every 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's not
Yeah,
bad at
so,
all.
like, and I got really good recommendations for them, but it's like I don't know. It's kind of part of that funk thing that I'm in. It's like, do I
Hmm.
really? And then given all the things, it's like, let me make it through January because that
Mm.
seems to be at my company where they like to. It's become a business planning strategy to cut the force during that time. And so it's like, let me make it through January, and then I may consider it.
Mm.
But yeah, we'll see.
Very cool.
We'll see. Joe, well, thank you so much, Joe, for showing us this. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I got
We'll
one
see.
final question before I will jump off here. Have you opened the alarm clock? Number one, and number two, if you have, do you like it?
No, because I'm waiting for it to go on like super sale, like Tickle Me Elmo. I told you I'm not open. I have two. I have two. Did I tell you the story about two? Like, you
No.
can't get two now.
Right. You can barely get one
You
now.
can barely get one. So this is what I happen.
So for anybody that doesn't know, we're talking about the Nintendo Alarmo alarm
Alarm.
clock.
I have it on the shelf. I do have one on the shelf back here, and one's upstairs. So
And you
two
didn't
things.
open either of them?
I know I bought the second one just so I could use it.
Yeah, okay, I got you. You're holding out for that eBay game. Got it. Got it.
We'll see if it jumps up to like the ones that were selling for 500 sold out.
Oh, I almost bought some of them dunking tracksuits for crying out loud.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
They were
So
going for like $500 on eBay.
yeah. So because people are just going crazy for Nintendo right now.
Mhm.
And but so okay, so the first day because it just randomly they were like, "Oh yeah, we have alarm clocks at the Nintendo store in New York." So it just happened to be one of
Mm.
the days I was going in, and I go in, and it was towards the end of the day, and they only had like 8 left. And they're like, "Okay, you can only you can get one, we're only doing one per customer, blah blah blah." And so that was it. I bought it, no problem. They sold out that day. So then I was like, "Oh man, maybe I should have tried to ask for 2." Like I didn't ask for 2, but maybe I could have got 2. And then they're like, "No, it's only one per person." So I was like, "All right, I'm done." The next week, they got more alarm clocks. And so I went in, and then that was when they started saying, "Hey, you need a Nintendo account to get an Alarmo. It's only one per Nintendo account." And
Oh,
so then I was like, "Oh,
interesting.
okay." So I pulled out the phone because that's what they're like, you have to pull out their phone that you have to
And show
scan
yeah, the little QR code thing or
QR
whatever.
code
Yeah.
and everything. And that's the same thing. If you order it online,
Right, you
you
gotta
can
sign in with your Nintendo
your
account. Yeah.
Nintendo account. So I was able to get because I think the first day they weren't doing that. So I was able to get the
Mm.
first one, like, without it, and then the second one, I obviously it's with my account. So, so yeah, so but it's down if you can see the bag's right there. That's
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the bag that's
I
got
see
the
Mario there. There we go.
that's one. So I haven't done it, and part of it's because 'cause I've been gone both weekends,
Mm.
and part of it also is, so Remy, who's down here, he sleeps in my bed, and I don't wanna mess up because they
Oh,
say
yeah,
we
you can't use, like, half the features if you got more than one
yeah,
person or
exactly, and
object
so I'm
and,
like,
you got a
"Oh,
dog or
Remy's in
another
there."
person or whatever, like, none of the, motion sensor features work, I guess.
Yeah, like, so I'm like, "Let me" but I and I don't but I wanna watch, like, Pikmin or Zelda because they said also that's the other thing Nintendo did. Uh,
The
there's
music
now
service?
the what?
The music service? Is that
Yes!
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I actually, like, got
I'm wondering if they're gonna start DMC like, striking people on, like, YouTube and stuff like that as a result of that. Because
for
they
sure, it's Nintendo.
well, yeah, but, like, if they're gonna get worse with it because they're trying to make it like their music, their Nintendo's Spotify or whatever,
Yeah,
that we
I would
call it.
100% say but my thing is at least we have a way to listen to the music.
True, true. It'd be cool if they would credit, like, the composers and, like, show some love to the people that created the music. That might be kinda cool for a huge conglomerate company to do that, just saying. Uh, you know? But, yeah, no, it's cool nonetheless.
I think it's because it's their IP, no?
Well, right, but they don't credit
Oh, they don't
like
credit the actual composer for who did the music.
mhm,
I guess you're right. I mean, look, I guess that's the next stage. I think they're,
right.
if they were, I'm curious what Nintendo's doing. Like, it seems like they're just like randomly dropping this stuff, and I'm like,
It's like
hey,
they had all these old ideas written in a book,
they're just like, let's
and they're
do it.
like, "Well, before Jim retires, we gotta get all these out the door because all the knowledge is going with him, so let's go, guys." And they're just like, "Here's an alarm clock. Here's Nintendo's version of Spotify. We're gonna see like Nintendo's version of Netflix next or something." That's just a prediction. It could happen.
Well, look, we're gonna see Switch 2, I'm gonna cover it. I'm
I'm
excited for
interested to see what it actually looks like when it comes out.
Switch 2.
Yeah, because I had
I'm
like the OG original. Like when the original Switch came out, I remember standing in line for it.
I have the original Switch.
Yeah,
Well, I have that one. There's one down here, and then I have the one, obviously the Zelda
yeah, yeah,
themed one, right? That's in
yeah.
the box,
So
in a plastic. You can't tell, but it's in like a plastic protective box right
nice,
there. And I think what I'm interested the most in with the Switch 2, besides what it looks like, I am really excited about what Switch 2 first party games are going to release alongside it.
right?
So if you remember, like they dropped out of nowhere Mario Wonder last year, like just like
Hmm.
2 months. Like they only gave us like a super small window that this is coming out. And I'm curious if they're gonna do that. Is it gonna They
Or
said
like
it's gonna be
OG Switch was like Odyssey and Splatoon were like
OG
two of the
ones,
big,
yeah.
yeah, the OG Switch when it first came out. It was like all Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8, and Splatoon were like the three of the
Yeah,
big
they
titles
have
that just came out of nowhere, you know.
yeah, and then what was the news about the backwards compatibility?
I missed that, to be
They
honest.
said something that they revealed that Switch 2 is gonna have backwards compatibility, so I'm curious about that. And, is it gonna offer, like, how PlayStation 5 Pro is offering, like, enhanced versions of games, right? Are we gonna have enhanced versions of games? So, like, I think I'm interested in that stuff, and then also, and I made a video on this, uh, is will it offer like I said so in my opinion, Nintendo is one of the most forward, cloud gaming companies. I know that's crazy, but here's the reason why I say that is because the only way to play certain Switch games is through the cloud, and
Right.
they
They're
don't
what's it called? Nintendo, whatever their cloud thing is called, I forget.
but you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to pay for the cloud. You just have to like to play Plague Tale Requiem is always the one that comes to my
Hmm.
mind. You technically can only play it if you have a Wi-Fi connection or a hardwired connection,
Right.
but you don't need a subscription for the cloud. So
For play, yeah.
it's like Stadia in a way.
Right.
So, or Luna, but I guess
I,
even Luna, you have like a Prime
I'm interested to
subscription.
kind of see what you said, what the fidelity aspect is, because what can I? Yeah, it's public knowledge. I can share that. What to develop a game and get it on Nintendo Switch, super challenging process. And their guidelines are really stringent to like what
Really?
FPS your game has to run at. So that I'm very interested to see come Switch 2. It's not a crazy FPS. It's not like crazy anything, but like every game that comes out on the Switch has to meet this standard. Period. That's it. There's no like, oh well, you're a super awesome. Your game runs at 144 frames per second. Like, so we're gonna. Nope. It's like this is the standard. That's where you need to be. Let's not deviate from it. And you got to fit in this nice little box. Um, so it'd be interesting to see come Switch 2 what that from a fidelity standpoint looks like.
Wow. Okay. No, well, I'm just like kind of looking and trying to see. So if they have anything like that, but I do not see anything like that. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. More to follow, y'all. More to follow. But with that said, Joe, thank you so much for coming by.
Hey,
I
not a
just want to
problem.
say
Thank
that.
you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Greatly appreciate it.
Of
And
course.
hopefully your trip to LA goes well and you come back revitalized from some of that California sun.
Revitalize, of course. We'll see. All right. Thank you so much, Joe.
All right. Thank you much, Perp.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks. No
Bye.
problem. Yep. Everybody, that's Joe, also formerly known as Angry Poultry. And our resident game dev, he told us a little bit about his game, and we are super excited for it. Did I just see Geek the Sneak come in? Hey Geek, what's up? I didn't see you earlier. But yeah, super excited for his game that's about to come out of Mana. We are going to be playing it, also gifting it, and yeah, Joe's just a cool guy. Um, fellow veteran, just doing awesome stuff for veterans. I can't speak highly enough of him. But yeah, so that's super cool. And like I said, told Joe earlier, I'm not really game, but Joe kind of got me in a game. Just talking about cloud handheld gaming. I don't know, it kinda got me like kind of excited. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm like, huh, okay. I can kind of get into this. So or he oh yeah, okay. I just saw him because I haven't been looking at chat. So thanks, Ross, for letting me know Geek is still around. Howdy Geek. Howdy, howdy. So yeah, and so I'm feeling good. Uh, and hopefully we'll see. We'll see. Maybe getting the PS5 Pro. Maybe I'm gonna get a handheld. Uh, definitely still trying to play my my Darksider, it might be a good thing to do Darksiders 4 on, or Darksiders 2, the more I think about it, because it's like one of those games I want to continue to play to be really familiar with the story. So we'll see. We'll see. We may do something. Y'all will be the first to know. But with that, y'all, I am going to shut it down a little early. I know I know I start like 5 minutes late. I know I've been going long on some of these, but I just wanted to talk to y'all. Like, I think I really value this time with you all, and so yeah. With that, I think I'm going to do my little thing where I say, I don't care where you game, how you game, why you game, what you game on, how long you've been gaming, as long as you're gaming, you're good with me. And as always, this is Purple Haze, and the proof is in the playing. All right, you know what time it is. Copyright strike time. All right, later. Wait a second, y'all. Wait a second. Cowboy, are you still there? Cowboy, are you still there? Cowboy, are you there? Cowboy, if you're there, you need to come on now. I just saw that. I just saw that. Uh Roster, what do you think it would be cool for me to stream? I know, Roster. I think he is. He barely caught it. I know, Roster. I'm gonna give him 2 minutes. I'm gonna give him 2 minutes. All right, okay, Cowboy. If you want to come in, you can come. Like this is the first time this has ever happened. The first time. I'm about to cut that one down. Cheap piece, fair use. All right, Cowboy, I'm giving you some time if you want to come in. Giving you some time. Let me know. Okay, do we have him? Do we have him? Do we have him? Is he in here? Cowboy, what's going on?
What's up? Hold up, y'all didn't see this one. My little baby Odyssey.
Sandy, again. Oh my goodness, we're getting multi-generations here.
This is crazy. Yeah, my oldest daughter Lena. Oh, Lena, that you know. This is her baby.
Oh, this is Lena. I remember when this was in the stomach, in the
Yeah.
tummy.
She got her whole face. Look at her.
Oh my god, look at that hair.
Odyssey. Her name is Odyssey. Look.
Oh my
Odyssey,
god. This is such a pretty name.
Yeah,
Odyssey.
this is Purple. Look. She's famous.
Oh yeah, right.
So what's her Purple? I jumped on. I was like, whoa, hold on. Wait a minute. Because last time I checked, you done added 2 hours to my stream last Monday.
Did Sandy get mad at me?
So let me get 5 minutes.
You got 5. Yeah.
So what's up, Purple? What's going on? Sorry, I was just sitting here baby watching. Well, Sandy's mainly doing most of the baby watching, but trying to I took my daughter who's 18 to dinner today at Cheesecake Factory. So I'm trying to get my last time with everybody. So I was out and I came home. I took a little nap and I'm trying to cut corners, burn the. So then I looked, I was like, whoa, snap, it's Thursday. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, for first of all, I just want to say again, congratulations on selling the house. And I know you'll have a move coming up. So I know that
next week, Friday.
Next week, Friday, move in.
Yes.
So that's crazy. And I know that's a stressful time.
Well, I'm selling the house was stressful. So now that it's official, like my lawyer and everybody is like, yeah, next week, 1 p.m. actually is when the last time we could be in the house. And then we're gonna get in the car and start driving to Florida.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, three cars driving. So I'm driving my car, Sandy's driving her car, and Sandy's daughter's driving her car. And so it's going to be like her first long drive, longer than 2 hours for Sandy's daughter. So we're going to try to stop every 3 hours. But anyway, what's going on? Let's talk. What's going on with gaming? You talking about maybe getting the PlayStation 5 Pro like Sev did? Is Sev come on here bragging and showing, talking about it's his new fortress?
It's a footrest. He said it's the best footrest ever.
he's in my Discord. He was like, "This is my new fortress." So
What? Like he's been playing it?
I don't know if he played it, but he just showed a
No,
picture of it.
Cameron's all about PC gaming.
I know. But he was like, "This is so the fanboys can't talk." So
Yeah, that sounds like something he would do.
hmm
Oh, look at her.
little honestly.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean, I would get one. I just have no use for it right now because I'm literally gonna be in a 1 bedroom Airbnb
yeah.
with for about a month. So I'm literally like gonna have like no TV. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have my monitor. So I would get one just so Sandy could get my old one. But we're pretty much, we gotta wait till we buy. Yeah.
That's kind of how I'm doing it with my brother. Because
Okay.
he keeps talking about because all he wants to do is play Mortal Kombat. That's it. That's his thing. That's his
Right.
game. And so he's been wanting one, and I eventually got him Stadia, and so but now I'm like,
hmm
okay, I can give him that. I'll get the new one because he doesn't he ain't even gonna play it. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of in a gaming funk, as I was talking earlier
Okay.
to people,
Mm.
and I've been in this kind of funk for like about 2 weeks.
Okay.
And like, I don't know, it's like work, we had a lot about the election and emotions and how it gets
hmm
here. And so I'm just kind of like, I'm trying to get back into my not being in such a funk.
So what you think would take the funk away if you get like a game you really want or something?
I think for me personally,
Okay.
um I don't know, I just think I gotta like ground myself. I
Okay.
think I need to go. I just think I need to clear my mind. I need to like just go do some stuff. Maybe go
I,
run something.
I maybe a what?
Go run.
Okay. Listen. Or you want to do like you know, like a 5K or something?
No,
Or we
I'm talking like around the neighborhood. I'm too old to do
okay, got you. I'm
that.
like, are you gonna start preparing to do a run or something? Okay, I got you around the neighborhood. You know what? I won't say I'm in a gaming funk, but I don't have a gaming identity right now. Like
Mm,
I usually have like a main game. And the wrestling game isn't considered my main game. It's just something I do every week that I enjoy with my guys, right? But other than that, I was really into Fortnite, me and my wife. And then they went and how Fortnite every 3 months they changed the whole season.
yeah.
So everything I loved about it was these cool Avengers weapons and flying and jetpacks and Iron Man weapons. And they changed everything and got rid of it all. And I said it a couple months ago. I told my friend, he's like, dude, you're really into Fortnite. I was like, bro, it's cool. I feel like I'm playing Avengers. I said, but I know Fortnite, they change everything. I said, when they change it, I don't know. They changed it, and I streamed it
Mm,
2 months straight every week. This
mm,
week, I was like, I didn't even stream it. I was like, I played it, and it's the regular Fortnite that I remember. You know what I mean? And nothing against
mm.
Fortnite, but it was cool before. This flying jetpacks, it was like Anthem mixed with event. It was really cool. And now it's kind of like, So I feel like I don't know, but I will say this, Purple. I think I will get really into Monster Hunter Wilds in February. Like
Really?
that was the first game to take me off of Destiny when I was super into Destiny. And it looks really cool. I had fun with the beta. So I'm looking forward to that. But that's not coming out for months. So
Monster. Okay. So I'm not a Monster Hunter player. I think for me, as I told you on your channel,
mm-hmm,
and Joe, it's just Joe.
mm-hmm,
He came on the show and he showed me this cool uh cloud gaming handheld that I may use to do remote play. So
ooh,
and it's like it's cool. So it kind of got me excited, like, oh, I want to try that. And I want to do it for Darksiders 2 because
got
I
you.
got
Sure.
the
Yep.
remaster of that.
hmm
And then there's this other game that just came out called Empire of Ants that looks, I don't know.
So last night we was playing we wrestle Wednesdays and
I heard
murder.
there was something wrong with the servers yesterday.
Purple. So I started at 5:30. So when I got off work, it was 3:30 p.m. Eastern, and I turned the game on just to turn it on, and it was like a little update, and it said you can't get on. So I was like, okay, whatever. I don't play for another 2 hours, right? 2 hours later, I went to get on. All the boys we ready. I'm like, it's not working. We was trying everything. It's 2 hours later, it started working. So luckily, because I'm like, dude, I don't really have much time. We're just gonna try to maybe get on like Sunday morning. And it's so cool. All these guys, they put their lives on hold. Their wives, their girlfriends, they whoever. They all know like Wednesdays. They allow them to do whatever and play to after midnight. But eventually it came on. So thank God, and we was able to finish the night. But yeah, that was 2K probably has the worst servers in the history of gaming. Like they got to get it together. They got to get it together.
No,
I
I heard
swear
well, I
we're
heard it was like that, and I was like, "Oh, man,
yeah.
that's gonna be tough."
It was
So
really tough. And mind you, for 2 hours, we're trying this. Oh, you jump out, you come back in, restart your PlayStation. And these, I mean, 2 hours straight, we was faithful. And it's 6 people, 6+ people was playing, like all just trying and faithful. And nobody left in that time. And my son, matter of fact, my son is on his first cruise. He's right now, and he had to catch a plane 5 in the morning, and he's still trying to defend his titles at least before the night is. It was a mess. It was a mess, but it worked out. So
no,
2K, I know you're listening to Purple Haze Show. Get it together.
yeah, right.
No, Purple. They all listening to the Purple Haze. All right.
Oh my goodness,
The
yeah.
queen, the empress of gaming.
Yeah, we'll
Just
see. Well,
saying.
thank you for
Just
that.
saying.
We'll see. So yeah, I think to your question like about gaming, I think
Right.
there's some games that I don't think there's any new games coming out anytime soon. I think the next new game that
Right.
I'm really looking forward to is Assassin's Creed
Okay.
Shadows. I am looking forward to that. I think
When
that's
is the date?
it's like they delayed it.
That's what.
So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't even know now.
I don't really know. I think, but everybody's like, oh, it's going up against Ghost of Yomi or Yoti.
Yeah, whatever.
And I wasn't really a big Ghost of Tsushima
I wasn't
person.
either. I wasn't either. I didn't like it.
But I'm not saying I'm just saying it wasn't like
Yeah,
mu
it wasn't for
yeah,
me.
like I think it's a great game. Same thing I say about Starfield. You like it, you like it, you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna probably like that's the next new game. And so I'm
Okay,
trying to get all of these other ones
gotcha.
kind of through and we'll see.
So I'm having a Stadia blast from the past right now. So remember Outright Games? They used
Outright
to put
games, yeah.
like every game on Stadia. So I'm actually playing their newest game, the Transformers Galactic Trials. And it's growing on me. Like I'm having like first of all, Transformers is my favorite IP, bar none. Optimus Prime is my favorite character of all time in anything, right? So I'm a big Transformers fan, love Optimus Prime, and I seen the trailer and I was like, oh, it's a little. Y'all could quote me on this. It's like a little kids racing game, but it's Transformers. I make the exception, and I got it from GameFly. And I was playing for like 3 hours the other day. I'm just playing that. Matter of fact, I played that and I didn't. I was like, I'm not even playing Fortnite, and I just kept playing that. But so I'm having a lot of fun. Outright Games doing their thing. My problem is, it has no online multiplayer. So I'm like, really? Because I would have bought it. I'm like, I like it a lot. It's like racing. You can slam into people, and then you have a mode where you transform, and then you like run around and battle. I'm like, this is cool, and it's still racing. Like they stop during a race to have a little battle mode, and then you transform back and keep racing. And they have, it's like a little. It's it right. You're like, wait, how, what? Yeah. When I seen the trailer, I'm like, wait, how they gonna pull that off? But they pulled it off. Really cool. So
So
but
Rouster's saying it right now. He's like, he thinks he remembers. It's like this racing fighting game. And that's so cool because Joe
mhm,
and I, we were just talking like, hey, what's the last game that had this unique game mechanic that was different? And
right,
this is one of those game
it is.
mechanics.
It
And
is.
that's why it's like Outright Games, smaller publisher,
Yep.
publishing this cool stuff. I
Mhm,
love hearing that because it just like proves my point. Like larger
yep.
companies wouldn't do this.
They
They
wouldn't do it. Nope.
they wouldn't
They would
do
be
it.
afraid. Yeah, they would be afraid. But they're taking the chances.
They're taking the chance, and it seems like it's working for you. It's doing something cool. So I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at the game right now. That's what I'm actually looking up right now.
Yeah, check it
And
out. It's called Galactic Trials.
so the thing about Transformers is I remember back when you were probably too young to remember this, but back
Yeah, her will drive me crazy. Her
what?
32-year-old self.
Oh,
Like,
okay, all right, okay.
yeah.
You see these? Sandy knows about this.
No, you just gotta go to sleep. That's all. Ain't
Ah,
nobody
okay.
tell you to stay up late last night. I was up late too, but still.
Yeah. So um back originally they
Okay.
had like a full show. And then in
Correct.
the 90s they brought back Transformers
Right.
and it was like segments of the show. It was weird.
Mhm, mhm.
And so that's the thing about them is like I wish they would go back because like the actual show had like seasons like that
Yes.
connected to
Correct.
each other.
Correct.
And I have not seen anything like that since. So my
Mhm.
favorite like thing from the 80s is Ghostbusters.
Okay.
And they released the real Ghostbusters, which is the name of the cartoon. They've released that on
Mhm.
um 4K or whatever. They released it on disc
So,
so you can watch it. But they've
so
not done that with Transformers.
Well, they did. So if you look it up, and I own it, they had. You remember the Matrix of Leadership, the thing Optimus grab and he opens. So they made a box set with the whole original G1s, and it's shaped like that where you can open it up. And I own it. Never opened it, but I have the actual thing. Yeah, look it up. It's
What is this? What are Decoy,
it's
what
and
are
it
we
was the
talking
anniversary. It
about?
was like one of the anniversary editions. Look it up. It's like you'll see it. You can't miss it. It's like this big rectangle shape thing, and it looked like it can open.
What is he talking about? Real Steel? He's saying Real Steel is better than Transformers?
Ah, man,
What is
stop.
this
Yeah,
guy
real still
talking
were Hugh
about?
Jackman. That was not for nothing. That was a really good movie. Like that was
Real
a
Steel?
sleeper
You think
hit
it's
for
better than
sure.
Transformers?
No, hell no. But it was a sleeper hit. Like, you know what that real still was like? It had that Rocky feeling, like the super underdog. Like this robot, like, he's not gonna beat anybody, and the little kid is the owner of the robot and train him, and Hugh
What?
Jackman was in it. That was a great
So
movie.
you know what I thought this was? I thought this was Pacific Rim when I
What,
first
real
saw it.
still?
Yeah, it looks like this.
No. Well, I could
Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, "Oh, no, this isn't Pacific." So,
no. Yeah, Pacific Rim, the robots are like they're like 50 feet tall, compared to
no,
this
no,
little robot.
no, Pacifics, they're like ginormous, and this one,
Okay,
it
man.
looks
Yeah,
like it's like a kid.
yeah,
Okay, so I'm gonna watch it, but I wanna see what is this Transformers
yeah.
box
Look
set?
it up.
I'm just gonna
I'm
look up
wondering.
Transformers box
I'm
set.
wondering where it is in my house since my house is in disarray. Because I got rid of my TV and it was under my TV. I wish I knew where it was at because I would show you.
Cowboy, have you heard he's saying about this video he says the video game this sounds like something you would be into.
Which video game?
The Real Steel video game,
I played the real. I used to own the real still video game.
and you could build your robot and fight
Yep.
1v1?
Yes, you could. Yeah, it was dope. Yeah, look
Alright,
at this
alright,
purple.
alright. Look, you're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
So
about
somewhere
there, yeah.
down there is the Transformers thing I'm telling you about, and I'm not gonna try to find it.
No, I can see it. I'm looking at it right
Yeah, you
now,
see it? It's like
and,
it was the G1, the original, what you're talking about, but they made a set. Um, and it was in the collector's box though. That looks like the Matrix of Leadership. So I don't know how hard that is to find now, but I have it. Oh,
they have the Transformers. I'm now thinking I'm gonna get the Transformers movie. So, I've been collecting
man.
4K Blu-ray, and so
So
looks like I
which
might be
movie? Are you
picking
talking
this
about the
one up.
original 1986, like the cartoon animated movie? Or are you talking about the Michael Bay movies? I wonder
Both.
where this thing
So
is.
that's what I've been doing. Like, if you look,
Mhm.
like I did this with Batman, where I got like all the Batman stuff.
I remember we had this conversation, and I, let you know I was the biggest Batman hater. You asked me to break down why. We're not gonna go there again, but
That is so weird because when I was in the army, everybody was about Batman. They were like, he's too smart, he's too this. And it's so interesting that the gaming community is so much about Spider-Man. And I'm like, why? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Spider-Man.
He's a loser.
I'm just saying. They're not Spawn. Now, if you want a comic book character,
That's the
Spawn has
Incredible Hulk
layers.
is such like the Incredible Hulk is like I don't know, I feel like he has emotional issues.
That is true.
Like I feel like he's too much like an abusive boyfriend type of character.
So you know what? Did you see the one that had Eric Bana as the as David Banner? That's funny. But they actually played on that he had trauma with his dad and he was abused when he was a kid. So that actually was literally, kind of the story of that. So that helped build up his rage. So when he actually got hit with the gamma rays, that's why he was so angry because of trauma. So it's funny you say that, but literally that is kind of part of the story.
Oh, you took it deep. Did you like the Spider-Man video game?
What's crazy? I never had interest in it. When it first came out, the part one, I bought it for my son. He's a big fan. Day one, we did a world premiere stream. I played it for about an hour, never looked at it again. So I could have played it whenever. Don't like Spider-Man. And then when Spider-Man 2 was coming out, they did that like 15-minute video, remember? Like last or it's been out for a year now. So 2 years ago, I guess. And I was like, okay, this looks kind of cool. So then I was on this hunt to play it. And you know who helped me out? My guy Holtz, all the way from the UK. No, everybody I know in Jersey and close to me wouldn't let me borrow their copy because I didn't want to buy it. I'm like, bro, I don't want to buy it. So Holtz was like, yo, use my account. Got to play it. Because he had the remastered one where it's, glitz and glamour. Played it, and I was like, it was pretty good. Then I played Miles Morales. I was on this whole little thing, played that. I was like, wasn't that good. But I played part 2 and Purple. I gave it a 10 out of 10. Me and my wife beat it, and it was like graphics was great, controls was great. The story like blew me away with Venom, no, spoiler free. So the game was really good. And I'm not a Spider-Man fan at all, but that game was epic.
Interesting. We got Decoy in here. So Cowboy Decoy is like probably one of the best X Defiant players. But he's a first person shooter.
Gotcha.
And so I met him through the X Defiant community, but I think he's on Black Ops 6. He's into all the first person shooters.
Gotcha.
I don't know. He does them all.
Decoy is lucky that I'm not playing. Because when a cowboy jumps into anything, trust and believe, Decoy, you won't be first place. But you see this Decoy? Look at hold up, Purple. Matter of fact, Purple in the background. You see that? Hold up. Bam! Look at that, Purple. This is how much I like the Hulk. My best friend who lives in Arkansas, he seen this at a flea market and mailed it to my house. That's how I got that thing.
That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
But Decoy, back to you. I'm busy, bro. I got things to do. But when I get on X Defiant, if it's still around. Hey, Purple, did we find out is that true or not? Is the game going or not?
I don't know. I think it's still around. I think it does some things really well.
Wait, did you say you don't know? You could just make a call. The Empress of Gaming? Make the call.
No, I think what they are doing is smart. Okay. Like right now, they are trying to work out some things. You just have Black Ops 6. So even if you went really big right now, Black Ops 6 is the thing. Yep. So I would suggest like for them, like because like after the holidays, they're already complaining about Black Ops 6. We thought the presidential election, we thought the console wars were divisive. Right. The Call of Duty community is divisive. Like they are like I have not seen stuff like that. And it's like toxic. So while that whole community is figuring out like their life, I think X Defiant is slowly trying to figure out it because it's a new game, new studio, new everything. So so far it's still like I can go in there, get into a lobby, and play.
Right.
That's all I need to know.
Hey, listen. You know what's cool is we have people who say the game is dead, right? And I always say, well, what does that mean? Because to me, maybe because I'm a little older, especially a lot older than Purple, but dead means dead. That means what's about to happen to Friday the 13th, one of my favorite games, but December 31st is gone. So Friday the 13th is the last Friday the 13th in December that I'll get to play that game and stream it before they pull the plug. So yeah, it's two Friday the 13th this year, 2024, and I played it on September Friday the 13th. So but that's dead, right? When you turn it on and nothing happens, that's dead, right? But X Defiant, just like Marvel Avengers, just like Anthem, just like a bunch of other games, is not dead because you could still get on and play with people, right? So that'd be cool, as long as you can still play X Defiant and until they turn it to Concord.
No, I didn't even know what Concord. It's just like I don't know what Marathon is. I don't know what these games are. Like
Right.
y'all, but so Decoy would know. He's in the know.
He's
one
in
of those
the-
guys.
okay.
He's one of those who's like in the know. He actually has really cool content. He kind of has
has
like
a channel?
character going on. What's that?
He has a channel.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
Decoy.
send me. You guys send me his channel. I'll subscribe. Check him out.
Yeah,
You know
Decoy.
what I mean?
Let me find his
No,
shit.
listen, Purple. Why the Cowboys over here getting big? You know what I mean? I can still make some time. The Decoy.
Oh, he just hit
No.
10,000. He just hit 10,000. Congrats, Decoy.
Oh, okay, let me put my little weights away. 10,000. Good. No. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Hey, everybody, that's Decoy's channel.
Cool.
He does pretty cool stuff. He does game takes and he has pretty solid commentary and stuff. So, but anybody who wants to check out Decoy, that's his channel. Not pulling 10K on Twitch charts, not pulling on YouTube video. Yeah, but he's still doing good. Still going, So, but yeah, I don't know. Like I can still play it, and like I said, I'm kind of in this funk right now. It's like I'm kind of like I played X Defiant on Sunday actually, and I wasn't even in the right mind space, and I just got destroyed. So.
No, that's how it is. Like you kind of, gaming can be fun, but if you playing anything competitive, you kind of got to be there, right? It's real. And you could be you could be as good as you want to be, but when you have that off day, it will show.
Yeah, and so that's why I just said, hey, let me like take a step back and try to find my mojo back.
Well, Purple, let me ask you this, because something we both love. Do you got a date for me, Empress of Gaming? Like, either one or two games. Reanimal, right? Or part 3. You know what I'm talking about? Little Nightmares. Come on. You got to have a date for me. One of them, right?
Little Nightmares 3.
Okay.
I am going to say is Q2.
Okay.
I believe Reanimal is going to come out Q3. But you're right. Both of those I'm looking forward to for different reasons.
Yeah.
So Little Nightmares 2. So actually I actually found this out. I have an actual comic book store. Like comic book store. Right. Legit comics. And I asked them like, hey, are y'all gonna have the Little Night? I thought I was like a comic book guru. And I went like, hey, can y'all get the Little Nightmares 3 comic? And they they said yeah. So I'm really excited because I'm really into the lore of Little Nightmares.
Gotcha.
I listen to the podcast. So I'm gonna do that. And then on Reanimal though.
You know what's crazy? So we both love it, right? And we know that the actual makers of Little Nightmare 1 and 2 is making Reanimal and not making Little Nightmares 3. So for me, Reanimal is very special because I feel like that's really the taste that I'm looking for, right? Now I feel like Little Nightmares was successful, so part 3 is it just gonna feel commercial because another studio, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I think Little Nightmares 3 is, and I agree, Decoy, it is like for a mobile game, it takes like an hour. I think the mobile, look, I'm all into the lore, but I believe what they're doing with Little Nightmares 3 is because I believe it's Bandai Namco who owns that the IP.
Right.
But Supermassive is making the game, right? So y'all know I like Supermassive. But the way I see it is like they're trying to make it less dark, right?
Right.
Because if you play Little Nightmares 1 and then
That's what pulled me in. That's
and
what
then the
pulled me in.
second one's kinda
'Cause
dark too, you know,
yeah, yeah. But
it's
so
like
the thing
dealing
is
with some pretty heavy themes here.
So the thing is, I seen Little Nightmares, right? And I was like, okay, it reminded me of that Limbo, right? You know, Limbo, Inside, a bunch of the
Oh,
little game, like
Inside is weird, I think.
yeah. So it's like a
Inside
little,
is
like you
weird.
would look on the surface, like, oh, this is a little kids game, and then something cut his head off. You're like, whoa, I can't have my kids play this. So then when I seen Little Nightmares, it was those games, but more polished, right? It was like those games, but didn't feel like those games feel like, you know, it was a little indie. You was like, oh, Little Nightmares took it up a step. And then like these big things and a thing grab you and squeeze you and eat you. And you're like, and the look on your face when you first get killed, you're like, what just happened? And the gameplay's good. So for me, I was always chasing that. What like part two? You got two characters running around at the same time, almost the whole game. Why is this not co-op? And then they announce part three will be co-op. And I'm like,
Okay.
my wife and I were like, oh my God, oh
Well,
my God.
Three's gonna
So,
be cool. So, like I said, I think what they're trying to do with Little Nightmares, you
mhm,
can just tell with the art with 3. Like, if
right.
you think about Little Nightmares 1, it's like dark, and that's
Yeah,
interesting that game has not been remastered yet, but it's dark, it's like that. And then 2 is kind of like is also dark. Like the atmosphere is dark,
right.
it's blue, it's very like but 3, you can tell, like, they kind of brightened it up. They have this big baby, which
Yeah,
I think is really weird given the nowhere. I did
mhm,
from a lore standpoint, I think that's really
right,
weird. And so what I and then they have the podcast, they have comic books. So they're really trying to do this, like, multi, um, stream
mhm,
idea of it. You get what I'm saying? Like, the
mhm.
comics, the game, I can see a cartoon.
Yep.
You know, and then and so it's just very different. But to what but I believe Reanimal,
Reanimal.
the
Yes.
people who originally made Little Nightmares,
Yes.
they're gonna take it
Right.
that next step, right? They're gonna
Right.
be like, "Oh, we now can make the dark," 'cause
Right.
that game looks kinda creep, like,
Yes.
they're like,
Like when
I
you
don't know.
watch, but if you watch somebody, if somebody showed you a trailer and you didn't know it had no name to it, if you seen Reanimal and you see part three, you would have thought, oh, Reanimal was the part three. You know what I mean? You would feel like that's the direction it was going. Where Reanimal does a little more, a little more commercial, you know. And so, but Little Nightmares.
3
No,
looks much
sorry.
more
Part three. Yes. Part three looks a little more commercial, where Reanimal looked like this is where it's supposed to go. So I'm glad both games are coming out. I hope they have good space in between each
yeah.
other. And I hope fans can find out that Reanimal is made by the original people. So hopefully they could get that the word out and everybody would know that.
What
So
I hope for is that they still kinda live in the same universe
mhm.
and that you can have, like because obviously Little Nightmares, I think, is gonna probably be more in the
Right,
PG-13,
right,
but
right.
I really hope Reanimal can from what it looks like, it's gonna be, like, in that creepy, horror,
Right,
disturbing, dealing
right.
with, like, moral questions, kinda like how you deal with Six, like,
Hmm, hmm.
what is the morality of Six? Like, does she have any morals? Like,
Right,
you know, as where I think Little Nightmares 3, the way they're going is like,
right,
how do we tell a story about these 2 characters? Now they could
right.
change on us, right? We
Right.
can get in that game and it could be like kids killing kids or something.
Right. You're like, whoa. Did you
Whoa.
remember our part one when you had to find the gnomes? Right. I
Yeah.
remember the first time where I found a gnome and I'm this little kid, right? So you look like it could be a little kid's game, and he hold a gnome and just start eating them. I was like,
Oh my
what's
goodness.
this? Yeah, that was crazy. I'm like, what's going this game? Yeah.
No, no, Little Nightmare. You're talking the DLC. The DLC you do that.
Oh, okay, fine.
Because 1, you're 6, but you're talking about when you're the kid in the DLC.
Yeah, and you like because you got a thing where you had to like find gnomes. Like it was
You
like a
had to
little
find, like,
thing.
10 gnomes,
Yeah.
and it's like this very there's, like they gotta, like, pull something down. Yeah, I know it. I
Hmm.
mean, I love Little Nightmares, like I
Yeah.
said, and, probably
Did
when the 3rd one comes out, I might do, like, a marathon stream, like, do
That
all of
would
them.
be cool. Yeah.
But
Did you so which one you like more?
my roster. Browser's taking that. Which one? What's that?
Which one did you like more, part 1 or part 2?
2.
I did too. I did too. I
I
felt
like 2.
it was a good sequel. I felt like this is where it should go, and they took it to the next level. I liked it. In the beginning, when you start off running in the grass, and the big dude's trying to like kill you, but he had a shotgun. I think he was trying to shoot
Yeah,
you as he was
that's
chasing you.
disturbing.
Yeah, I was like, well, I'm a little
When
kid.
they
Like,
pull,
what are you
like he's
doing?
chasing you, and you're in the shed, and then they pull the
Yeah,
gun off, and then it shoots him,
yeah,
and you're like, because it's like a very like
yeah, yeah. You
because
don't
the way the
expect that.
shotgun sound. If y'all want to hear a real life shotgun, play Little Nightmares 2 with
Mm,
that first. That sounds like a shotgun.
mm.
Like, and then it does this thing where it kind of messes with the sound, like
Yeah,
if
it's like,
you
yeah,
like
yeah.
that is. I'm trying to see what this game is 9. Dick Decoy's telling me about this PG-13 game called 9, and he says it's really good. I have not heard of this.
No.
Um, I don't know. I'll have to look it up later, but he says it's good. But so we'll see. Like, yeah. So I'm looking forward to those 2. I'm looking forward to I told you the Assassin's Creed game because I like
Mhm.
stories. I think they do stories really well. I don't care if people don't think that guy was a samurai or I'm like,
Right. Oh my
Leonardo
God.
da Vinci didn't make tanks either.
Exactly. Like,
But we did that. We did that. So,
mhm.
like, I'm okay with this dude being especially if it helps tell a story. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna play that. And then I don't know. We'll see what the Game Awards
Yeah.
have. Maybe they're gonna announce Darksiders 4.
I think so, right? Like they,
Oh,
yeah,
if I'm gonna be all in that, if they can do it.
yeah.
Oh, it's a movie. It's a
Oh, I
movie.
seen 9. I seen 9. Yes,
What's it
yes.
about?
It's like the characters are kind of little and cute looking, just like Little Nightmares, but it's like kind of creepy. And so like it's like they got these cogs or something that keep them alive. I think that's what it is. And like they had to yeah, he got like looked like he got button eyes or something. It's like a little robot or like a cloth like type thing. It was like a it's like a CG looking movie. Yeah, 9 was really good. And it was a bunch of them. I think that was the whole thing. It ended up being 9. They kept like it was one all by itself, and then he met another one, and they tried to team up to like escape this whole thing.
All right, all
Yeah,
right. I'll give
yes,
it
it it feels like Little Nightmare. You would like it. You would feel like, is this supposed to be the movie? Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot.
Now I know why
Thank
he
you all.
mentioned
Thank
9. Yes.
you. Thank you. This was worth it because now
Yeah.
I'll probably because SoCal, I gotta travel on Monday, so
Okay.
I'll have to I gotta go to LA, 6-hour flight.
Oh snap.
I know, 6 hours, 6 hours, and so I'll
How
probably
long are you gonna be out there?
like 30 hours.
Wow. Okay. 6 hours there, 6 hours back.
I think
30 hours.
I leave Monday morning around 9. I get
Okay.
there, I think like 1 PM.
Okay.
And then I come back Tuesday at like 10.
Mhm.
Maybe a little bit longer, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, so I gotta go do that. So I'll have some audiobooks and I got 9. Thank you, Decoy and Cowboy, for the
Yeah,
recommendation.
definitely. Yeah,
This guy,
that's
he
a
says this guy knows. You don't know Cowboy Decoy? I need to get Decoy. I need to get you your own interview so
that'd be cool.
the community can like my
Yeah.
older adult
We
gamer
gotta
community.
merge these communities, you know?
Yeah, he's like a younger guy, but he has like good. He's kind of like my barometer on what the
Gotcha.
the
Yeah.
the what I don't know. How old are you, Decoy? Like 23, 22, 20. He's in that.
Okay, so you got 10 years on them. Okay.
Yeah, I'm more than that. Like I got like twice his age plus 10, maybe.
Listen, Purple. I met you in person, okay? All right, young lady.
Oh
Okay.
my
All
goodness.
right.
You're too nice. You're too nice. Need to give him wait. Need him to give me the info on Hollow Knight Silksong release date. Oh, that's not coming out. Hollow Knight is not coming out. I'm telling y'all this.
You're like, it's not happening.
Hollow Knight is not happening. Like, I hate to break it to y'all. I think Hollow Knight is going to be a scam.
Oh, like the what was it called? The day before. What was that name of that game that they scammed everybody?
Yeah,
The
I
day.
think. Look, I think I don't know what happened. Like maybe they'll show us a trailer. Look, Cowboy. I talked like about 3 or 4 months ago. I
Mhm.
talked about this on this show. Go watch. Hollow Knight got announced before Stadia got announced. Think about it. Go
Yeah,
back and watch the video where it's at an E3 and they have this woman and she's playing Hollow Knight and she's talking about the game. I've seen this frame by frame. She's not playing that game. They just put like something up there and she's talking about it.
Mhm.
I believe what they did with Hollow Knight is they took the money from their what they fundraised, they put it into Bitcoin and they like lost it all or something. Or crypto or something like that. I
Wow.
don't think it's coming out. Hollow Knight's never coming out.
Wow.
Tuned off, muted stream. What are you talking about? Deco, what are you talking about?
Purple. There you go, Purple.
Who is this? I remember this was the one that
Joseph.
was gonna eat the guinea pig.
What? Yeah, she did want to eat the guinea pig. She almost took the head off. Look, that's Purple. The Empress said, "Where are you going?" Okay, fair enough.
Oh my goodness. Deco, you can't, look, I don't understand. Look, if you want to play, here's the other thing about Hollow Knight that I want to get to. And that is Silk Song. I'm talking about Silk Song, not the first one. It's Hollow Knight Silk Song. Here's the other thing. It's missed its window. Oh my goodness. Look how cute that dog is. I think it's, for one, even if it came out, it's missed its window. There's been other games there's been other Metroidvanias that's come out. Nine Souls is one that just came out this year. Any of the like, oh my god, Revelations is another one that's came out. There's so many other ones that have come out that I just feel like even when it comes out, it's gonna be like,
It would have to do something special, yeah, to grab that audience, because it will grab its core fans, but
yeah,
right. But so it's two things, right? So the success of the developer, right? Do they want to make a game that the core audience hit, or do the success of the publisher where it's going to reach people that the developer didn't think it would reach? And that's what.
I think it's just like, you want me to tell you what I remember, what it reminds me of? And this is a game that I thought would be super popular if it came out like 6 years ago. 7, 8 years. Starfield. I feel like Starfield is just like, no, it's not a bad game. I'm not saying it's a bad game.
You and this Starfield.
I'm just saying I think it's like past its window of like when it's cool. And I feel like, oh my goodness, this dog is having a ball.
Wow.
More off of that with, you were just hoping to get more of that with. All right, Decoy's about to cry. I can feel like he's like getting emotional and defensive about this. All right, Decoy, it'll come out next year. How about that? It's gonna come out next year for you, Decoy. There you go. But I'm just telling you, go look at the gameplay from 2019. Why is that game taking 6 years? She said it's about to release 6 years.
Listen, Purple, it might come out and just blow the roof off of gaming.
I doubt that. I doubt that. Oh my goodness.
We gotta break apart the bed now. So
oh
we could.
Y'all are really moving. Y'all are like moving right now.
No, it's real.
Y'all are like moving.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta give away the bed to her son tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. All right, Cowboy. Well, you delayed me getting off by 30 minutes. So
oh yeah, listen, the least I could do after that 2 hour,
I had to. Oh my goodness. But now I'm tired. I know I'm tired. Y'all made me feel good. Thank y'all. I know it's been like this work, and then we have politics, and then we had more work, and then I'm tired from traveling last weekend. I needed this. So thank you all.
Definitely. And guys, listen, when you refer to Purple Haze. It's the Empress of Gaming. All right.
Oh my goodness,
That's
Cowboy.
what
Thank you.
hashtag Empress of Gaming.
Oh
Just
my.
saying.
Later. All right. Thanks, you cowboy. All right.
All right.
Decoy,
Thank
we'll
you
talk
so
more.
much, Purple. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you as usual. And I hope you have a good night and a safe trip.
All right. We'll do. Thank you so much, cowboy.
All right. You guys take care. Good night.
Later, cowboy.
Bye.
And oh my goodness, Decoy. But Decoy, here's the thing. Go look at the game was supposed to be nearly done in 2019. We did not see a Duke Nukem Forever gameplay 10 years ago. This we saw gameplay 10 years. Look. I get it. It's a tough spot for you. And fast, what are you doing up right now? Like fast, why are you up? It's like 11 p.m. fast, and you live in like Florida. Like, why are you up? I'm gonna get in trouble. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Y'all are too great. We'll do Fall Guys sometime fast. But with that, y'all, that was Cowboy, aka And Your Mama Knows. He just sold his house not too long ago, and he's moving down to Florida. So he's about to go do that. And you're tired. I'm tired. You and your conspiracies won't. That's not even good. Okay, how is it? The conspiracy theory is to believe it's coming out, but okay, like I don't know. I'm joking. Thanks, Decoy, for coming by and spicing up the chat. Fast, but I need to support the best streamer. Oh, Fast, thank you. Sash, you're just saying that so you can win the Fall Guys tournament again and get your what is it, $25 and what did you want? A PlayStation gift card? That's what you like? We'll see. We'll see. Let me get my mojo back fast, and then we'll do something like that. All right, y'all. But y'all know it's about that time where I am getting tired. I am old. But with that said, I don't care where you game, how you game, why you game, what you game on, how long you've been gaming. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. And as always, this is Purple Haze, and the proof is in the plane. All right, take care, y'all, and I will see you. Just remember, don't expect Hollow Knight Soul Song to come out anytime soon. All right, later.